Looks like we got a new friend!
So, you want to be a mage or a fighter? I can show you how to be a shield.
Oh, hi everyone, and welcome to this, a 28-hour stream in aid of the lovely NPC Bree, where we'll be raising money to try and get her out of some medical trouble and stop her from selling her streaming equipment so she can join us for Eden next season, damn it. Before we go around and speak to all these wonderful, amazing faces around the table, do take a moment to check out all of the links which the bot will be spamming at you in chat now. The last one is the tweet. If you could go and retweet, we'd greatly appreciate it. There's also information about where you can find us socially, all the places you can support us, although today's more about Bree, so maybe skip over those. But do check out our sponsors, Mayhem Press and Bird in the Storm Publishing, who make this all possible. So do check that out. Talking of Mayhem Press, throughout today's stream, anyone who donates $15 or more in a single donation will be receiving a 50% discount on the Mayhem Press store. So that is the first of our things to give away. There's other things to talk about donations as well. I'll do that after we've said hello to everyone. Let's go round and say hi. Why don't we start with Bree, our wonderful DM. Oh, hi.
Oh, hi! Hi, everyone! I'm NPC Bree, and I will be your Dungeon Master today. I will be doing everything in my human power not to make anyone regret playing with me. I won't kill anyone's players in a completely terrible way today. No promises from there.
Bree.
The characters, not the players. It's a little early still. I still haven't finished my first cup of coffee. I won't kill any players or characters in a menacing way.
Thanks.
And thank you for all the things that are coming in. There's too many to honestly list them. I don't know what they all are, but thank you for all of them. Next, let's go round to Satine Phoenix. Oh, hi, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning, everybody. Hello from Los Angeles in my giant cup of D&D coffee. Yeah, you can find me at Satine Phoenix on all the things and at gildinglight.tv.
Yeah.
I love D&D.
Yes. lots of exciting things going on. Thank you again for joining us. Let's just carry on going around clockwise. We started, so we might as well carry on. Let's say hi to Kiana.
Hello, everybody. It's been a hot minute since I've been here on the Academy, but I'm excited to be back here with these lovely people for a awesome cause. So, guys, go support what's happening over here. Yeah, I can't wait to get into some D&D, and we'll see what happens. We're saving some dragons, I think. It's an adventure. Let's go on it.
Next, Alice, or White Rabbit Pig. Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. I'm so glad to be back. I'm so glad it's for an amazing cause. I think I mentioned earlier, it's been about a week since I last played a game, and that's too long. From going from every single day to none, I don't like it, but I'm so ready for this game, so ready for this adventure, and yeah, such a good cause with all these lovely people.
And last but most certainly not least, the second of the duo of characters, Rachel 190, or as she's known on Twitch, Baby 190. Rachel, oh hi!
What's up, buddy? Hello, my name is Rachel or Baby 190 here on the internet, and I'm gonna be playing Sophie today, and I'm super excited because I really missed her, and I missed being with all these lovely people, and I'm super excited to meet 3 new faces today. So let's get this show on the road. Let's do this. Don't kill me.
You survived worse, Sophie. You survived worse.
Just don't, character deaths, not player deaths. Character deaths.
Ooh, yeah.
I really gotta fix my vocabulary today. Character deaths, 98% of the time, happen from a will of characters just really, really wanting to die over something. So don't give me
a tower. Don't give me a tower. I won't die.
Yeah. We'll climb that tower.
So before we
no towers.
Before we get into it, thank you, Mad Rogue, who's asking the relevant questions in chat. Is there a donate command? Yes, there is. I've just updated it to actually include a link to the GoFundMe. All of the donations in there, we will be counting those. We just had a £25 donation come in. It was anonymous, so I won't be giving anyone a 50% discount. But £20 that is being boozled. So we'll start with one of those. I'll be doing those all stream. I may regret, but I'm just not going to worry about it. I'm just going to go through them and pretend like nothing's happening.
You have to tell us which one it is, though. We have to know.
Say, what
I have no idea. It was white. I think it's buttered popcorn, actually. Buttered popcorn.
There you go.
I don't think it's rotten egg. Buttered popcorn.
It'll be fine until he starts going, ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh. Like a cat who just smelled something they didn't like.
But there's all sorts of things there. Our prices are higher for a charity stream today. So today, notably, it's £6 for a reroll rather than free, and £10 for a 50-50 die, which is a new thing. A 50-50 die, we flip a coin, and it'll either be a nat 1 or a nat 20. £20, as we've already seen. I do being beazled. That might have actually been rotten egg.
Now you realize it.
Yeah.
No,
it sort of crept up on me. It crept up. It's either rotten egg or I'm learning that I don't like buttered popcorn. One or the other. And £30, Bree will introduce a complication to the plotline, make things a little bit more difficult for us. So Bree, without any further ado, why don't we hand over to you?
Yes, hello. All right. Woo. Okay, let's play some music. We're going to go into a little bit of a background for you so we can understand why the players are here and what we are doing. Okay. When thinking of the world of fantasy, we often imagine a world quite unlike our own. Modern technology replaced with arcane forces. Medicine replaced with the arts of divine healing. Death being no more than a cornerstone to a new adventure. In the realms of our great fantasies, awe-striking creatures roam the world, dotting the spectrum of good and evil. From trickster sprites to brutish minotaurs, and even the great deities that help grace heroes with powers unlike any other. That being said, there is no creature more renowned than the dragon. Soaring high above mountain peaks, wings larger than city squares, these great leviathans provide a powerful imagery. Hoards of treasure, a wealth of history of the world's past, and destruction upon all who are in their way. This was the case, too, for this realm. Dragons, ancient, wise, and far more powerful than the lesser races, grew even more greedy than could ever be imagined. Many species of dragons fought against themselves, fought against the humanoids, and even fought against the world itself. That was until a small cultist group of Yuan Ti came into contact with an entity from another plane of existence. This entity granted them with the secret of the demise of all dragons, evil as well as good. The good dragons were oft forgotten, the sins of their sisters and brothers being far too heinous to not strike all with the same level of force. In less than a century, the power of the small cult grew, and the populace of dragons dwindled away. For a majority of living races, there seemed to be little concern with the takeover of these cultists into their home and life. Many even began to worship this entity of the Yuan Ti, as it was a blessing that saved them from all dragons in millennia past. There are some, though, who know from lost history that not all dragon kind is evil. Paramount being the conservationists. Out to protect all magical creatures and the dangers of this rise of power, the conservationists are a team who dedicate themselves to restoring life. And this is where we begin our venture, with 5 of the most skilled conservationists tasked with their biggest challenge yet, to take a bronze dragon egg deep into cultist territory to find it a surrogate in the last known surviving bronze dragon, Izormi. So, all 5 of you are at a wooden table. At the edge of the table is this 2 feet long, beautiful, shining bronze egg. And your master, the leader of the conservationists, looks to all of you. So are you ready? And we're going to go one around the table, and I would like you all to introduce your characters. And we will start with the man himself, Scrat.
Why, thank you. Golric is an aged orc. Half-orc, sorry. Though it's taken on a lot of orcish features. He has dark grey skin, white hair tied in a top knot, and some whiskers which hang around his jowls, uncommon for orcs, even old ones. He is a scholar and is dressed as such in scholarly garb, and an expert on all things dragons and their beauty. He's also a barbarian at level 5.
I'm ready. Of course I'm ready. I've been training my entire life for this, for these events, and we'll preserve everything we need to preserve, and hopefully get a chance to study it also.
Also, big shout out. Thank you so much to Mad Rogue, who's donated $100 towards the GoFundMe. And also Misty Wolf, who chucked in 20 as well.
Holy shit.
Alice.
Hi, Misty.
Alice, I think as we go through the Bean Boozled, we should alternate.
We're gonna be
so
alternate.
This time it's you.
I don't know what it's gonna be.
Oh my god, you have no idea.
Is it?
Is it buttons?
That's my name. Why does it taste so much like it?
I don't think I've ever eaten a rotten egg before, which makes me afraid as to how you know how well a rotten egg tastes.
It's a dangerous game you guys are playing.
Yeah, this is a dangerous game.
This is fine.
Whoa.
I didn't buy 5 packs. We'll be fine.
Why is that the first one I get?
It's because Scrap probably got the butter one. You guys have to like alternate.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm good. I'm good.
All right. So we will move around the circle then, and we'll go to Sophie, the twin.
So, Sophie is a little bit taller of a halfling based on previous adventures that she had with her good friend Bob. So you see her standing, I want to say somewhere around the 4.5 foot mark, which is uncommon. She has a kind of a mess of flippy, bright blonde hair on top of her head. She's very fond of bright red scarves, which she wears constantly. She's not used to scholarly things out of her family. She's the one who provided. she was the one who went out and maybe stole cows or cheese or weird things like that. That happened. Don't question it. So this is an entirely new thing to her, but she's interested after the things that she's been through in life. She wants people to all have a fair shot, and she doesn't care who you are or what you are. Sometimes you just gotta do the right thing. So she leans forward on this table looking at this egg and kind of, yep, we're doing this. We're really doing this. There's no going back. Yeah? Okay? All right, yep. Let's go. Oh, crap. All right.
And as she says, yeah, Kay, she looks to her companion, Bob.
Bob is a changeling. However, he spends most of his time in his tabaxi form, and he's quite tall. He has very, very long, large ears and sort of almost an orangey brown fur to him. He doesn't wear a lot. He wears a waistcoat, he wears trousers, and he wears very heavy boots. He has a couple of scarves tied around his waist, which is the only way he sort of shoves all of his weapons into them. And he met Sophie because she was stealing the cow. This is how he and Sophie met. And he and Sophie have been on many adventures, and whilst the adults of the party are away, Bob decided to stop by Sophie's bakery, and it's like, I've got an idea. I heard someone had a dragon egg somewhere, and I really want to go and see one. And he's sat at this table on a stool that is far too small for him, so his knees are quite far up around his waist. And he's sort of like laying his head on the table, and his hand is a little close. He's like, he sort of looks to Sophie and the rest of the table. So we're still going to do this. We're actually going to see a dragon, right? I mean, we'll see what happens. As long as I don't have to climb another tower, I'm sure it will be fine.
And the man in charge kind of goes, I hope there are no towers. And then we turn the screen to Shell.
Yeah. So next to the large tabaxi is a small half-elf. As we see, last time we saw her, she was an actual 10-year-old, and now she's an actual 11-year-old. She's grown up a little. As Chell is our resident rogue bard. She dimension hops, and she has found herself here on her search for her parents. And as she had heard about the story of the dragon egg, she thinks about how much it sounds like the story she was told by her family at the circus, and how she was super excited to do some good. And so she's, rather than sitting, standing on the chair in all her excitement. Her teal and orange faded circus clothing still has the little jingles on them, and it's like, yeah, I'm super excited. So we're just supposed to take this. I don't think I can carry it. It's like almost as tall as I am, so someone else will have to. But yeah, I think I'm ready to go. Are we all ready to go? Yeah.
And as the nods begin to kind of circulate nervously, the screen pans to the last member of this adventuring party, Vlanya? I'm bad with real names. Fantasy names are nightmares, so.
No, it was perfect.
Excellent.
It pans across and then up, because she's standing and she's about 6'1". Elf, big long ears, long flowing burgundy hair. Obviously a noble in an inappropriate gown for this circumstance. However, she arrived because she too heard of this egg and all these wonderful dragons. She is a bard wizard and is out collecting stories, also a dimension hopper. And, well, I'm ready if you are. But I'm not carrying that thing.
No. If I may volunteer, I will happily carry the egg, and perhaps get a chance to study it on the journey.
Also, thank you very much to Mad Rogue, who gave everyone a reroll.
Yay!
Yay!
Including you, Bree. That's everyone gets a reroll. So with rerolls, any dice that hits the table, you can call for it to be re-rolled. Whether it's your dice, whether it's a damage dice, an ability dice, we can just re-roll any dice.
Any dice. So, like, let's say I rolled a natural 20 to hit you in the face. You can use your reroll.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Thank you so much. And while all of you kind of talk about it, the leader of the organization gingerly picks up this egg, weighing around 10 pounds as he places it into Golric's hands. This is the last known dragon egg. Do not fail. This might be the last chance to save the species.
Don't
And then-
stop it.
Yeah.
Definitely do not drop it. And
You should check his hands, make sure they're not sweaty, because he looks like he has sweaty hands.
Is there a case for this? Something we can carry it in? I mean, obviously we want to protect it. We're going into dragon territory, so there'll probably be a lot of running.
That's true. Are you good at running and holding things, big guy?
I wouldn't say I've spent my whole life doing it, but I've spent a lot of time studying dragon eggs.
Studying running and then actually doing it are two different things.
I'm quite good at animal handling in general.
We're going to have some problems. Sort of looks down at Sophie like he's going to drop
This is
it.
a bad idea. Why did you bring me here?
I wanted to go out. I thought you wanted to see a dragon.
We will require a backpack
yes,
and
yes,
a lot of stuffing.
well. And then as you're saying that, he kind of waves his hand, and from another room, a Yuan Ti woman does walk in the room. Her scales on her skin are a light blue, and her tongue kind of just naturally forks out and back in as she kind of peers around the corner. And she's carrying a strange contraption in her hands. It's a hard-bottomed base. It's kind of like a curved, maybe ceramic style holding with straps that go over into the back. This is what we came up with last minute. I am Tal Gresa. I will be taking you into Yuan Ti territory. Hopefully, we will get there alive, but there is no promises.
Great.
Makes it very easy. There'll be a walk in the park.
And she goes over to Gorik and kind of sets it on the table. If you are the one in charge, I recommend this might be easier if we have to run. But you must watch whatever direction, whether you carry it on the front or the back.
If I'm running, I think I'm more likely to fall on my front than in the back. So I will wear it on my back. See, that's only the kind of thinking that a high-intellect orc can come up with.
I guess somebody should make sure that somebody's watching your back, so nobody just takes the thing, because it's behind you and it's hard to see.
That's why I carry a halfling.
Wait, really? I thought you just liked me.
I know I like you too, but it's really handy.
Shell, that was a great idea.
Yes, genuinely a very good idea. I appreciate it. Perhaps I should lead this foray. And then you can all watch my back.
Okay.
Tal Gresa kind of, you can see kind of, her face is very stoic in the sense that it is mostly scales and doesn't seem to have the lip functions for a smile or a frown. But almost like the anime, stress forehead marker kind of begins to bulge into her head as she looks at you. How far have you gone into enemy territory, I must ask? Are you all from this realm?
I I left the university once.
Let's see. Well, in that regards, I will stay and guide you. We have two options and directions to go. We can either go through the forest, or we can go on the main roads. Neither are safe. But it depends on whether you want to risk what is in the woods, or see if my brothers and sisters find you on the roads.
I would suggest, based on experience, that we go through the forest, because often there are bandits on roads, and if we're seen carrying this, I'm sure someone will try to steal it. Also, we should probably have a map, in case something happens to you. Just in case, never know.
Yes, that is intelligent, yes. And she turns and she kind of pulls out a very small map, and it shows the directions from this general location to the general location in which they had last spotted the dragon. Unfortunately, when it comes to the Yuan Ti territory, Talgresa is the expert, as this is where she had grown up, but when it comes to finding the exact location of a dragon, it has been quite a few years since I've been home. Clearly, I've taken the enemy's side, but it seems that the dragon used to live around Temple of the great and evil Mershok.
Then that's where we go.
That is where we go. Hopefully, we just find the dragon before we find the enemies.
Yeah, this great and evil guy that you just said. How great and how evil would you say, like on a scale of 1 to 10?
Well, Mershok is the deity of my people. He is the one who granted us the strength to kill all of the dragons millennia ago.
A terrible disaster. I can't believe they did it.
Also, a quick shout out. Thank you very much to all of the donations that come in the last 10 minutes. Gilroy Almighty's chucking in 20 quid. That's another Bean Boozled me this time. Also, a couple of other people. I'm not sure if people want their real names read out, so I'm not sure who one of them is, but there's a $5 donation, and Arasavad also donated a donation as well.
Thank you, guys. Holy cow.
Really want to know what you've eaten. I bet you've got something like strawberry or something.
Yeah, something sweet and pleasant.
Oh my god, there's one called dead fish. That's not okay.
I'm colorblind, but I think I've got booger.
That's horrible.
Because it definitely
He's
doesn't taste
handling it like a fucking champ too. He's like, I think this is the terrible thing in my mouth.
It definitely
It makes
doesn't.
me wonder. It must have been the college years that affected your taste buds to the point that you're not gagging. Yeah, he gave us me and Kiana a few college stories before everyone else joined in the chat. That was fun. That was a fun one.
It definitely didn't taste like juicy pear. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, God bless America and everywhere else. So Talgresa takes you out of this kind of ramshackle building that you were in. It seems to have been an old, maybe church that had crumbled and been rebuilt, and then crumbled and then been rebuilt for this purpose. But on the outside, there are very large serpentine creatures with rounded flat heads that are kind of looking around, and all of them have harnesses and little saddles for you to sit on. We will take these to the forest. From there we will go on foot.
We're supposed to get on that.
Yes, they are riding lizards. They are fast.
Chill is like immediately up into their space. Just like, like.
Lizards! Ah!
Yeah. Probably like, petting them or whatever.
They are warm and they are dry. They, you can feel kind of their scales underneath your hands. And you can tell that even if your hands are of the dry variety, they are far too damp as they kind of run along this very dry skin.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't seem to mind. They kind of just continue to like look their head around. It's like,
yeah. So she'll turn to. I mean, they seem real friendly and really cool. They're super cool.
Hop on, child. Let's see.
Okay. And she'll just scramble up. Tidy half elf, trying her best.
See Bob approaching it with his hands out, like he's trying to get closer and closer and really awkwardly try and climb up on it, but he looks uncomfortable.
As Bob climbs on it, it like kind of turns its head completely around. Like kind of tongue reaches out and kind of touches at your like cheek. Just kind of get a sense of your fur before turning around, pretty content with you.
Sophie's touching me. I don't like it.
Okay, just pick me up. Pick me up. I want to sit in the back. I don't want to sit in the front. I don't want to be near the.
Why do I always have to be at the front? I need to
Sorry. Yeah, that's kind of your burden, not mine.
I'm going to help Shell up, watching her scramble, just kind of bloop.
Big powerful elf.
Thank you.
Golrick's sort of like, Now, if we're riding on lizards, that does change things. I think I'm more likely to fall on my back if I fall off a lizard than I am to fall on my front. So he'll go through the rigmarole of changing the thing around. I'll go at the back.
And the little egg kind of jostles a little bit as you maneuver it, because you're just kind of taking it off.
Carefully.
And it is kind of hefty. It's not, you're normally carrying much heavier packs, but it is a good 10-pound weight just sitting on you, plus the weight of the actual carrier itself.
I hope you appreciate that I'm leaving behind some of my inkwells today so that I may carry this extra item.
I mean, I can carry it if you want. I don't really own anything other than my weapons.
Well, no, don't carry the egg. But here, you can carry 10 pieces of parchment, 4 inkwells, 1 quill nice, 1 bit of charcoal for rough, and here are some of my books for use for reference.
Now, Bob doesn't have a bag. He's literally shoving these into his pockets, and he hands the books back to Sophie.
What the hell?
We're carrying the strange...
Dude? Come on.
We're carrying the strange man stuff, okay?
If you happen to glance at the title,
draw obscene things in his books.
If you happen to glance at the titles, they're A Study on Dragons, Real or Magic, Chapter 1, Flying, Book 2, Dragon's Breath.
I'm just gonna take the charcoal and just like look over Bob's shoulder and just open it and just start like drawing obscene stuff in the margins. Just close it up.
What are you doing?
It doesn't matter. You'll figure it out later.
Okay. And sort of Bob's gonna be holding on to the lizard, but as much as he's gonna lean back away in case its head turns around again.
Right, in case it has the audacity to look at you.
Yeah. He doesn't like riding horses, let alone a giant lizard.
Tagresa hops upon her lizard, and it is quite clearly hers. It has a feathered headdress kind of around it, and it's got special paint on its scales. And she kind of pets it warmly, and then begins to make a very strange hissing and clicking noise to all of the lizards, and they all kind of sturdy underneath you as they prepare for takeoff. And she looks at all of you and goes, "It is time." And before you even have the moment to prepare, at high speeds, all of them start just pounding the ground. And all of you do have to hold on a little bit tighter than you thought you'd have
I'm
to.
sitting side saddle because I'm wearing a noble's dress.
I love it.
Visuals.
Your hair, the burgundy hair, the long burgundy hair is just flowing to the side so elegantly while everyone else is like, "Oh my God!" And you're just like, "It's okay. Just a normal day for me." And with high speeds, you plummet and you rise up hills and alleyways. And in the distance, you do see a very dark forest. And as you approach it, the lizards all kind of begin to slow down. And it's almost like with every step, they're struggling to continue on until you're about 50 feet from the woods, when they all just completely stop, unwilling to move farther for you.
Ow. But that's is that spooky? Just I mean I find it kind of spooky, but it's not just me, right?
No, it's very spooky.
Okay.
I get off it now.
Yeah, are we done? Are they gonna move anymore? Or
These forests contain beasts that might feast upon the lizards, so they do not wish to move any farther.
Is this a bad idea? Should we have taken the road instead?
Is there something we don't know about these forests?
Well, I would like you to roll me a perception check, Ulrich.
Certainly. And may I also just mention that we beat 2K on the GoFundMe?
Oh my gosh! Holy guacamole! Trying to keep my F-bombs down to a minimum today.
I'm not the most perceptive.
So you kind of look at the forest line at the small distance, and the trees are darkened. The bark is like a deep brown, almost black, and the leaves are a very dark, like evergreen color. But other than basic spooky forest vibes, you don't see anything that seems obscenely dangerous here. Don't hear anything. Nothing seems to be screeching or crying.
I mean, I could scout ahead just a little bit to have a look.
Oh, I don't know. It looks a lot like the textbooks to me. I think everything should be fine.
How many times did you say you left the tower?
I've done a lot of research.
Good to know.
Also,
I
Alice,
hop off.
that donation was a $20 donation, Alice.
Has
I'd like to
Vanya
hop off and also cast Find Familiar.
Wonderful. What does your familiar look like?
She's a little gray cat, and I sit here. I go, RPG, RPG, and that's my Find Familiar.
Wonderful. And it seems just like out of a small bush, a small kitten stretches back, butt in the air, and kind of, and then sees you, and then does that like really kind of pathetic kitty run. She kind of like clumsily runs into your arms.
Okay, so there she is. Come here, Peachy. I say, well, if you see any danger, just let us know, okay?
God, that was not okay.
Yeah. Alice.
What was it?
That was vomit.
No.
Oh no!
Oh, kitty.
Oh my gosh! Alice, focus on the perfect familiar. It's fine. It's safe.
Oh,
This
it's
is how
so
you're supposed to
cute.
behave.
Oh, yeah. Chell's immediately just like, see this cat just suddenly show up out of nowhere.
In this spectral cat, you'd be surprised at how just perfectly soft. Just the pure energy of soft catness. Don't make eye contact, Alice. Hilde will eat you. No long-term eye contact.
Yep.
Sorry about that vomit in your mouth. So bad.
Okay. It's okay.
The worst thing about it too is we're having this wonderful moment where a sweet, soft, innocent kitten comes into the screen. As Alice is like,
it genuinely sounded adorable, but that was just yeah, okay, I'm ready. Okay, it's fine. This is fine.
fine. It's okay. All right. So, do we have a marching order? Talgresa will offer to go in the front beside someone.
Bob will quite happily march forward, more sort of like to have a look what's around.
Talgresa would not mind if you would like to check.
Oh, I can go and have a look. I'm very good at it, aren't I, Sophie? And he just sort of starts he sort of goes down onto his all fours in like tabaxi form and starts having a little just like mooch around in the grass and just sort of like his ears perking up here and there to see if he can hear anything.
The spectral kitten looks very intrigued as to what is going on. Like, what is that big cat? Roll me a stealth check, Bob, as you kind of approach the tree line.
19.
A 19. So you kind of slink in quite easily, and right before you put your paw down after probably the second row of trees, you notice that the ground is covered in heavy webbing there. And you know not to put your paw there because perhaps someone will hear you on the other end of the web. So you kind of move your foot down. And as you peer around, the forest seems extremely quiet. There doesn't seem to be any birds. You don't see any squirrels. You don't see the kind of animals you would expect. But other than that webbing, you don't quite see much of anything else in this forest.
Bob sort of moves his paws away. Maybe step where I step. Don't touch that. Don't touch it. He sort of keeps slinking off into the forest.
Wonderful. And is everyone going to follow Bob?
Step where they step seems reasonable.
Sophie
I
has
would
a
like-
little habit. Oh, sorry.
No, you go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'm very protective of Shell and Gulrick, so I would like to be behind them. I would keep my eyes on them.
Keep them safe. All right, so Sophie, I'm assuming, is behind Bob then, as they're the closest.
She has a habit of holding onto Bob's tail, kind of like a baby elephant sort of thing. So yeah, she's doing one of those things.
And Talgresa is standing kind of around you, deftly stepping over the webs. It's almost like she knew they'd be here. She's just kind of prodding around them. And then it goes Gulrick with the egg, Shell, and then Flania close behind to make sure nothing spooky grabs her.
Can I do a quick investigation check on the egg or something? Because for conversation on this little trip, not understanding that we're supposed to be being selfie, I'll be telling everyone about the egg, about what it's likely to contain, and how big the birth will be, and
I would love for you to give me whatever role you think would be best for Gulrick for his expertise on this dragon egg.
Could I use history or nature?
You can use either of those. That would work.
Let's go into my old research. It's pathetic, but I'm going to spend my reroll on that. I want to be knowledgeable, damn it. 23, there we go. I know all
A
the things.
23 is much better than 11. So as the egg is still in your front, right? After you got off the lizard, you didn't swap him around. Is he still in front of you like a sweet baby?
Yeah, I think actually he will be in front and sort of holding it and pointing out things, so you can almost see the silhouette if you hold it against the light, that sort of.
Yes. There is a gleam among this dragon egg. It looks like polished bronze, like a statue or something far more amazing than any chicken egg you've ever seen. It is powerful, and you can kind of feel a radiant kind of heat off of it as you touch it. You know that the dragon egg is at full size. It is at full brevity. It seems to be almost fully incubated. You do know that it is incredibly fragile, though. And if something does attack it, it could risk cracking or breaking the egg. And though you're not entirely certain how long this egg has been in here, it is a 50-50 on whether it would survive a severe crack. You do also know that they incubate for approximately 600 days.
Am I sort of at day 590? Could it be any day sort of thing, or?
You're kind of in the realm of this could either be 500, it could be 598. Around those last 100 days, you almost can't tell, and then it just hatches.
And I'll be telling everyone, it looks very close to hatching, actually. Could be another 100 days, could be tomorrow. You can see its little tail is fully developed, and it even has little wings. You see, back at the university, I've got a magical scanner that you can rub jelly on and we can have a proper look. But for now, just holding it against the light is good enough.
And you know that this thing will come out. It folds very tightly, but when this tiny dragon does unfold, it would be probably at least larger than Shell. It may be a small egg, but it is definitely a large creature. And while you discuss this, I would like all of you to roll me perception checks.
That's a 9.
It's an 8. I'm the rogue.
We're so fascinated by this dragon.
Everyone is just completely lost in the dragon.
Yeah. It's like trying to think of what it looks like compared to her, and she's just like, what? How?
Oh, then Tilgraces saw nothing, so they're all completely encompassed by this knowledge. And I'd say that Gulric, as you begin to kind of hold the dragon egg into the light, the way it gleams off and kind of sends a light into the tree, you see like a very long leg almost kind of pull back into the branches and then completely disappear. And you begin to hear as things kind of travel amongst the trees.
I have something to tell you all. Why don't some of you more perceptive looking types, why don't you look over that way towards that large leg squishing through the trees?
What?
What?
And when you look, there is nothing there.
Okay, why did we give this guy the egg?
I told you he was crazy.
I told you he was crazy.
You saw a large leg?
Yes, and I've hit a paradox. If you don't believe me, we have two choices. We can either pretend I did see a leg and move on, or we can go and investigate and look for tracks and potentially get closer to the egg. I can't decide which one of those two options is better, to be honest.
I whip out a mage hand and I say, over here, and then I just move the mage hand over to the bushes and I kind of rustle the bushes a little bit.
And as this phantasmal hand kind of moves forward, it hits something. And as it makes contact with whatever is in this wood, it disappears out of existence and the hand is able to free move.
What? Did you see that?
We've hit another $250 on the in the GoFundMe. Thank you very much to Corios and Kentucky Hawkeye. They're both over 20, Alice. So we're both do one.
Oh, come on!
Duffer for charity.
Alright, I don't know what this is.
Oh yeah, no, that one's the rotten egg. Oh yeah.
Now you know.
Oh yeah.
Why am I not getting any of the good flavors?
I just don't like
Why?
buttered
Give me a
popcorn.
break.
That's what that was. Oh.
No, she's gonna don't cry.
How is skunk spray a flavor?
Oh no!
Did you just get the bad box, Alice?
Adam, did you tamper with these before?
They look identical. How?
He goes through and licks all of them and swaps the boxes.
Oh.
Yeah, rotten egg ain't great either. I'll be honest.
Yeah, right.
How are you doing for a drink, Alice? Do you need a drink refill?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I will get on that quickly.
Yep. Bob sort of. Oh my. Bob sort of crouches. He's like, I could go and have a look. You know, element of surprise.
Bob, roll me another perception check.
Oh no. No. Oh, 18.
18? That's a good one. So as you kind of approach the bushes where this hand kind of went, and you're beginning to kind of have to step over more sets of webbing as you go, your long arms kind of reaching the most of their stretch as you reach. You see something kind of rustling and bushed in the distance. As you kind of approach it, it stops. But you see something else rustling to the bush to your left. As you turn to face it, it stops. And then behind you, you hear
Bob stands up, looks back. He's like, we are surrounded by many of these creatures.
What?
I don't know what it is, but I don't like it.
Get over here. Come on.
Come back. Okay, I got to avoid all the webbing.
what is Shell's passive perception?
Not high. 11, I think.
Don't say that to me.
So yeah, it's 11.
Okay. So it seems that where Shell is standing, kind of like near Vanya, but still just a few feet away, not quite on top of her, something kind of enters the space next to you, and it is a very large spider. It's hard 8 legs, high points to the side. Its body is of like a ethereal white and like an ice blue, as it kind of makes a screeching noise as it takes a bite on you for surprise. Does a 20 hit?
He is an 11-year-old child. Yes. So yes, that does.
Oh, okay.
Are you need to make a DC?
You have to make a DC save on the poison damage.
Oh boy. Guess who has a -1 in that?
No.
15.
That's good. 15 is good. So you do pass the save.
Yay.
A lot of poison damage.
No.
Let me edit that. Let me edit the poison damage. That's rogue. I must have been sleep deprived. It's only 2d8, not 4d8.
Okay.
So you only take 7 plus 5, so that's 12 damage. And I would like, no pressure. I would like all of you to roll initiative.
I was gonna say.
Oh boy.
All right.
Again, what's is happening? Oh, look, an arachnid, and it's using its mandibles to sample us. How terrifying.
All right, let me add all of these in here. Let's see, did that work? All right, and then I'm going to put all of them into the Roll20. If you just enter the numbers you get for it, that would be great.
All right. Every freaking dimension, spiders, this is an infestation, interplanar infestation.
A mess.
Oh. Way.
Can they edit those on their own? Scrap.
No, I can't.
Oh, acknowledge.
I can.
Thanks. Let me roll for the friends of ours. That's what they are, right? No friends.
Is that what they're called?
The friends.
That's why.
I feel like
Hey, it got a nat 1.
Yes.
The other one that you don't see is.
that's great.
Sorry, I wanted to get the roll out of the way.
Wow. Okay.
I'm just taking care of a small. I'm just, you know what, it's fine. And then Cal Grace does there, so that's good at least. All right, so let me add those.
Okay.
Oh, whoops.
I'm pretty sure my initiative is not 31.
Oh, that would be great.
It is still a 20, so
30 to run out of there by any means necessary.
Oh no.
Do people not like spiders or something? They're so cute.
These might not be.
Actually, this is going to sound like a really horrifying thing, but because I live in the South, bugs are everywhere and horrifying south of the United States. A couple of days ago, I was enjoying the nice spring weather, and I like kind of saw something kind of just coming out of my hair. And a spider from the outdoors had landed on my head and decided it was going to appear in my hair, and I was like, this is a horrifying surprise. And then I went home, and I was like, I'm going to go add some spiders. So I went inside and took a shower, and then added a bunch of spiders to my hair.
Not okay.
That's how I responded to that. All right, so first up in initiative order is Shell, and right next to you is a very large spider. And it's
she's
probably at face level with you.
cool. Yeah, panic. Yeah, she's gonna let out a bit of a screech, and she's going to firebolt it because she can, and it's right there. That was a 25.
A 25 hits.
Okay. 8 points of fire damage.
Beautiful.
And she just like basically instinctively puts her hands out and just
Wonderful. And as you do that, you kind of see like the burning of webbing around it And as you kind of look at your own feet, there is web on the actual ground itself below the grass that you didn't even see. It's almost like this entire, like the earth itself is made of webbing in this area.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Is there anything else you would like to do for your turn?
I don't think I can do anything else, so we're just gonna...
Well, the spider next to you doesn't react, but behind you, Bob, something enters a plane of existence near you. As this phased spider comes in for a bite. Right, 21 to hit.
Yeah.
I'm rolling really good today.
That is a hit.
All right, so that you will have to give me a saving throw. That is a, what was it? Constitution saving throw?
Constitution save. Oh, wow. 7.
So you take full poison damage. You take 14 damage.
Yay. Okay.
All right, and that's all it does for its turn. It is now your turn, Bob.
Yeah, Bob sort of like jumps back, just like, ow, and pulls his crossbow out of one of his many scarves and just fires at it with an 18.
An 18 hits.
There we go.
Oh, beautiful. 19 damage. So this bolt goes right into one of its front legs, and it kind of does like a bend as it kind of snaps off. It looks at you, goes,
Whoa,
and it's like kind of like weird jaw, like flitters at you, like it's just like right in your face.
Go away! As he sort of shouts at this thing as it's bitten at him.
Shoo! Shoo! And Helgracia looks around and spots the one nearest to Shell and looses a short bow. But because it's so close in her proximity, it kind of just goes too far off to the right and misses because she didn't want to risk hitting her. And Shell did a big old mistake. So, Helgracia did. So it's Flummy's turn. Within 5 feet of you, there's a very large spider and a very small child.
Oh, I'm towering over the small child, and I just headbang at this spider for a Toll the Dead Wisdom saving throw, DC 13.
Ooh. You said wisdom?
Yeah.
It rolled a 3.
Boom! That's 2d8. That's 1, 5. That's 6 points of headbang damage.
Beautiful. Honestly, that's the best kind of damage. Like all those Metalhead concerts. All right. Is there anything else you can do from your turn, my dear?
I will bardically inspire. Don't worry, Shell. We will protect you. That's a 1d6.
So you have an extra d6 that you can use for saving throws, to hit rolls, and what have yous, which is very useful when it comes to poisonous spiders. All right, Golrick, it is your turn. You are the one holding the infant dragon.
Indeed. And also, we've had another $20 come in. I recognize the name, but I can't remember the handle it associates with. So thank you. You know who you are. That'd be another bean for me. I would like to... is the group arranged in such a way that we are forming a ring or anything like that by chance?
Well, we have Bob here. We have Blanya and Shell here. Where is Sophie at?
Sophie would... she was holding onto Bob's tail, so she's probably within like 5 to 10 feet of Bob.
So it's almost like a intersection, I would say, like a diagonal with Golrick in the middle, Spider in front of Bob, Spider behind Bob, with 2 party members in between each of them.
In that case, I think I'd try and take the backpack and put it somewhere in the middle. I'm going to place the backpack down here, and Chell, would you be a darling and look after it? And I'll try and come and step between Chell and the spider, not making any attacks. I think that'd probably take up my action. I'll just go and be like, I'll take this, don't worry.
I would say it would be a bonus action to take it off. I think you could still make an action.
Oh, awesome.
It's in the front of you, so you can kind of just slide the baby down.
I'm sure you've got it, Chell. It's right there in that lovely white grass.
Isn't it bigger than Chell?
Charles just like, okay.
I think how Grace is the closest, and as you do this, how Grace goes,
Yeah,
what
just
the hell?
I'm sure it's fine. And I'll walk up to the spider, attacking this poor child, and I will. I've been carrying a halberd this whole time. I forgot to mention that. And I will.
just with the backpack.
Just there.
I will swing the halberd, and unfortunately, that's not going to hit. But I do have an extra attack as a level 5. 19. There we go.
A 19 hits.
There, have at you. Free slashing damage. Ha! Ha ha! It's not too bad, this adventuring malarkey, is it? This is fine. I took this from a guard, you know.
Oh, Christ. I'm just seeing, and I'm seeing all this combat happening while everyone else is going, the egg, as it kind of shines around all these spider webs, all in slow motion, while Godric is like, I'm an adventurer. I can do this. It's fine. All right, that brings it to Sophie. Sophie, what would you like to do?
Sophie's gonna pull out her rapier and just start yelling, "Hell no, I did not leave the shop for this!" And she's just gonna like slash at the nearest spider that she can. I'm assuming the one that's behind. Ooh, 17 plus my 7 to hit with the rapier.
That definitely hits.
Yay! All right, I should have opened my dice beforehand, but I didn't. All right,
That's fine.
1d8 plus. Okay, 5 plus 4 for damage. So.
All right, so excellent.
9.
Excellent. Some good damage going around here. Very good. Is there anything else you can do with your turn, my dear?
I do not think so. I think she's going to give a disapproving glance at Golric for putting the egg down in the middle of a battle, but, you know, she's really judging him.
And the spider now then can act, the one in front of now Golric. And for its action, it is going to bite him with a 22. Bite to hit was amazing. Roll an 18.
Well,
22 hit you?
Yes, I'm a scholar, so that does indeed hit me.
All right.
I'm not wearing any armor.
Give me a con save.
13.
That's not enough.
That's fine, but I am a bear of the totem barbarian, so I will take that 18 damage and I will halve it.
Excellent. Wonderful. And for the spider's bonus action, it uses Ethereal Jaunt. As a bonus action, the spider can magically shift from the material plane to the ethereal plane, or vice versa. So the spider is now no longer in front of you. It's almost like its body kind of moves to the side, and it looks like there's almost 3 of them splitting, and then it all pushes together and it's gone. That is the end of his turn. Brings it to the top of the turn order. Shell, there is no longer a spider in front of you.
Yep. I'm just gonna go and go to the egg because this is what's happening now. We're putting the 11-year-old in charge of the egg here. And she's just she's just gonna go over to it where it's lying in the grass with his carrier. She's like, and I don't even know what she's gonna do. She's just gonna kind of like hug it and prepare an action if anyone tries to attack it.
Okay. So you are holding your action if something tries to attack the egg.
I knew this was a great idea.
We're all going to die.
All right, so the second phase spider, it is now their turn, and this is the one in front of Bob. Goes in for another good chomp, but it seems to have grabbed more fur than anything, and it goes, and it misses.
Mind, like as he sort of tries to fan it away.
It's like its fur and scarves are just all up in its mouth. As it takes it to your turn, Bob.
He sort of shouts, "That was my good scarf," and points his crossbow at it again and fires. Does a 13 hit? If not, I'll re-roll.
A 13 just hits.
Just hits, okay. He fires.
Ooh! So this bolt goes right into its mandible. I don't know spider terms. I never took spider anatomy. But it goes right into its kind of chest region, and you see kind of a crack begin to form across its body. It looks like another good hit. And there will be no more spider here. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
No, Bob is now just making sure his scarf hasn't got any bite holes in it, because he has very few of these and he really likes them.
It seems that there's one small snag into your scarf.
And he just glares at the spider.
All right, that brings it to Talgresa, who is going to... I think she is going to... I think she is going to go over to Shell, and she's also going to just stand there, bow ready, with that, waiting to see if any other phase spiders appear. She just doesn't have a good shot with her range of motion to get to a spot to shoot the other spider without hitting Bob or Sophie. So then it brings it to Vanya.
All right. I'm going to attempt to use my lightning lure to kind of whip at its legs to kind of pull it off kilter, maybe go prone.
Okay.
If that is okay, Dungeon Mistress.
That sounds...
That is a strength saving throw, DC 13.
Oh, see how strong the spiders are. It is a 4.
Ha! Okay, that is 1 and 6. That is 7 points of damage.
All right, so I would like you to now just describe to me how you kill this spider.
I feel very clever, and I take my lightning lure and go to whip at its legs, except for it rips all of them off of one side. And the blood just gushes out, and then it bleeds to death.
And you know how spiders do that thing when they get kind of like, when they die, they just kind of curl up? It kind of does this like sideways curl up with the only remaining legs in front of you before it kind of like zzz, zzz, and just fades out of existence.
Well, that was unexpected.
All right. So it is now your turn, Gorik. There is currently no spiders around.
Ah, well, we've done it. We've done the thing. Look, we've killed one and scared the other one off. We're good at this, jolly good. I'll come. Well done, Chell. I saw you protecting that egg. I'll come and take it back now. That's it, right?
All
There's
right.
nothing else around.
There's nothing currently around now.
Yeah.
So would you like to use your action to re-equip the egg?
Well, I mean, everything seems safe, so... that one did run away. I mean, I don't know where it went. But I'm sure it's fine.
You really haven't been adventuring before, have you?
No. I took this halberd from one of the guards. I asked them if I'd need anything going out here, and they said a weapon. So we're gonna have that one, and they gave me an old one from the cupboard.
Well, sometimes when like they disappear, they don't actually disappear and go away, and then sometimes they come back when we're not expecting it, and we have to keep fighting, and it kind of sucks. So we should be careful.
Ah.
Bob is screaming internally at this conversation.
I'm going to walk over to Bob and then in that case, pass me a parchment and a quill. And I'm going to start writing notes about the face spider.
Pulls out this crumpled piece of paper in like his other pocket, the quill.
But what I'm doing whilst I write that is I am holding my action for a ranged attack should the spider reappear.
Excellent. Now where's the dragon egg right now?
It'll be back on my back. There we go.
Back on your back. Excellent. All right, Sophie, is there anything you would like to do for your turn?
She's giving Golric just the most confused look as he approaches her and Bob. But she is also going to ready in action. She's not putting her rapier away because she's she's dealt with like ghost children that reappeared and just all kinds of weird shit. So she's
used to horrifying things
paranoid.
happening.
Yeah, she's been hanging out with
Wonderful.
Bob too long, so
Excellent.
she's suspicious.
Well, that is perfect for all of these held actions, because it appears that as the ferocious writing of Golric from behind, something begins to zzz, 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 fade back into existence, and this spider is back to attack.
May I release my held action?
You may release your held actions, everyone.
Why, thank you, for we all know that the pen is mightier than the sword. So I throw my pen like a dart at the spider as it reappears.
Oh, it hits. You do throw this pen.
Another 3 damage! Oh, we're doing awfully well at this.
And it goes into the spider, but does not seem to fall out of the spider. So there's just kind of a quill off the top of its head, like it's almost like wearing a little feathered cap. All right, and Sophie also held her action for this moment.
Is it within range for just like an attack with her rapier?
Would you be behind Golric still? Because he was a turn to hit. Then yeah, I'd say you are able to hit him.
Okay, cool. So let's see. 17 total.
Alright.
Sweet. Alright, so that's not good damage. 7.
That's fine. All damage is good damage.
True.
But this does make it to the spider's action. And I would like you, Golric, to challenge me as this spider attempts to attack at your dragon egg. Makes a kind of phantasmal leap, and I'm going to use my reroll for this because I got an 8. And I got a 6. Fuck it. You just have to beat a 6.
What am I rolling?
Either an athletics or acrobatics.
Do not mess this up. Oh my god.
Crap.
If you get a nat 1, I think it's the only way you can beat me lose to me right now. So this spider kind of starts to fade in and out, and you kind of holding a parchment in one hand, you kind of push at its mandible and kind of like grab at its leg, and you kind of push it back, and it feels awful on your hand. It's got like coarse hairs that are kind of slimy, and your hand has probably never touched anything worse. And as you kind of push it back to the ground, you just want to like run it through a cold river for a few hours. Like, ooh. And it is unable to take purchase.
I have that sensation, but at the same time, I feel that science is important, so I'd be sniffing this disgusting thing and maybe even giving a little...
Don't you lick it.
Tastes like a spoiled milk bamboozled or something. Oh no, I need my pen back.
Well, perhaps Shell can get it back for you because it is now her turn.
Yeah, Shell will just kind of like pick it up and she just like looks at you with a very quizzical look as she just places it back in your hand.
Thank you.
Okay. Are we good here? I think we're good here.
It's
Maybe.
still lightly twitching. It seems that it needs just one bit.
Yeah. She just like looks at it, just like, oh god, no. And we'll just take her dagger and just like poke it.
Give me a poke roll.
Okay.
Roll to poke.
Roll to poke. And she just pokes it.
And it is a solid poke.
It's not even stabbing. She's just like 5 piercing damage.
And it is a good stab, a good poke, so to speak. It's you almost kind of return the dagger where the quill once was, and you're and it just pokes it well enough for the twitching to just kind of convulse harder and then curl up and stop, and it phases away.
Okay, I think it's good now.
Chat just said at least it isn't giant moths. Is there a moth here?
I don't
Also
want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about
Just need a big net. Like,
Well,
Yeah.
that was easy. We were clearly cut out for this sort of thing.
Move along. Let's move along. Let's get out of these webbed areas. Are there, on your map, are there areas that don't have webs?
Calgrace looks at you and goes, well, it just depends on what has happened in the woods.
Okay, and she just takes off. Like, just
And you kind of, everything feels like, you know that feeling when you're going on a walk with friends and you're the only one whose face hits the web? So you go, whoa, and everyone thinks you're crazy. Vanya feels that every step that she takes. It's like, oh my god, I swear I touched a web. Oh, for the gods. Where is it? It's in my hair. I know it. There's a spider in my hair. Oh my gosh. And it is uncomfortable because every step is kind of sticky and kind of harsh. But as you kind of make it more through the woods, it seems to be less full of spiders and spider webs. And the forest does kind of begin to change from a dark, almost black-brown bark to a more tree-lined bark. And it's, is that a squirrel you've spotted? Hoo, hoo. There's birds.
that was the squirrel.
I was trying to swallow him. I choked in my own air. I'm the expert DM. Hoo, says that squirrel. I'm a master at this. I'm well trained. But it seems that the forest has gotten kind of quiet and peaceful until Grace stops. And, now, is anyone injured? Do we need to sit for a moment before we continue?
Now, Chell, are you okay? You took a nasty nip there.
I mean, I'm doing okay. I don't know if I really want to stay here for too long.
I'm with the small one. I don't like it in here.
I'm feeling a little bit sickly, but I'm mostly okay.
Well, if we need to just sit for about 20 minutes and bandage up, I will keep watch.
No, I'm not.
I would say if we wanna take a short rest, that's completely up to you guys, but I won't make it a 4-hour full short rest, just roll a hit die if we need to. While we bandage up. We don't have time for a nap, but we're gonna have time to bandage up spider bites and suck out some venom if we need to.
I'll just sit and play my harp in a song of rest.
Yay.
There we go. And that's an extra D6.
Yeah.
Alright, so if you choose to do hit die, you also get an extra D6 set.
Well, it can't hurt, can it?
Bob is looking down at the scarf, quite sad at the hole in it.
I'm sure there's someone who could test mending back at the headquarters. Well,
Does a short rest cure poisons? Does anyone know?
I don't think so.
Probably not.
Sorry, can't help you here.
No, it's all good.
no,
Good luck.
I'm having a bit of a reaction to that spider bite. My arm's gone a bit green.
Oh, goodness.
it's
Is it gonna
fine.
fall off?
It'd be very interesting if it does.
I
Just
mean,
make a tourniquet and try to prevent it from moving any further.
Perhaps we cut it off.
I like that idea.
That's an
Let's
option.
tear 'em off.
We won't take your 0, Kiana, if you would like to do a re-roll of your
That's so harsh.
That's like a cruel joke. You can roll another hit dice if you'd like. Third time's the charm, Kiana. Come on, don't do this again.
Chill, why?
There we go. There we go. That's how awful. Like, I'm bandaging things up, but it only feels like it's getting worse.
Oh god, I don't know why. Yeah,
The wrappings are too tight.
yeah,
Someone
she's probably gone.
Someone help the child. They're already doing more harm to themselves.
Where are your parents?
Yeah, she's probably sitting really close to Vanya and just like she'd probably try to rewrap the bandage like 5 times now, and she just keeps like, it just keeps unraveling.
Look at Dr. Seuss, Are You My Mother?
I don't care.
Yeah.
It's fine. All right. So,
Learn. That is how you learn.
yes. Someone is there to comfort you. If you're about to die, she'll intervene, but you're not homeless.
Exactly. Trial by fire.
It's good. It's good for kids. Sturdy dragon fighting kids. It's fine.
Phil's
Yeah,
character.
she's fine. Okay.
So you begin to make your way out of the woods, and the environment almost seems different here. Whereas on the other side of the forest, there was grass, there were trees, there were bushes, there were animals. It almost seems that this ground has become desolate. There's patches of dying grass, but most of it is just a harsh, craggy earth. And Talgresa looks to all of you. We are near the remaining bit of the path, so we must be very careful not to draw much attention to ourselves. How good at you are all of you at being quiet?
Very good. Sometimes. Yes, very.
Yes.
Very good.
Well, when you say quiet,
Trial.
Can I just smother him? I just grab him from right behind.
Talgresa is going to pull out some in her bags. She has what seems to be very strange, like cloaks. And they're very kind of form-fitting around the body, and they have large open hoods that kind of fold more over your face, creating a shadow. I would like all of you to put these on. Gorik, I'd recommend putting the dragon egg in front. Perhaps we can convince everyone that you are just pregnant. But you have to cross through a town.
yeah, that'll work perfectly. It's not technically a lie either, because I can just tell them I'm incubating, and they'll understand.
Best thing is the beard.
Very large dwarf.
Good hood. Got a good hood. It's fine. But I would like all of you to put these on. And Talgresa does the same. Now, if anyone speaks to you, just accentuate your S's. We seem to do that a lot when we speak in common. And if anyone speaks to you in my language, just nod and try and get away quickly.
Bob's tucking his ears into the hood, like trying to fold them back to sort of
To be
push them forward.
to be absolutely clear, what is your language?
That's a good question. What is language? The only thing I didn't prepare. The Yuan Ti speak. Well, they speak Common, Abyssal, and Draconic. So Abyssal, perhaps. Draconic, perhaps.
If you said draconic,
You know those.
I have draconic, but not abyssal.
I'm just gonna hiss at them and hope for the best.
Yeah.
They just-
So Cheryl's gonna just be like, so they look like you, right?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. And she's gonna do this, and she's gonna cast Disguise Self on herself, and just make herself look like a mini version.
She looks. It's kind of like, when you go to Florida and you see all those little lizards crawling around the ground everywhere. She's not quite a full lizard folk, but she's very tiny.
Yeah,
Small.
she's just like that, but small.
Excellent. A smart young one.
Forgotten he's a changeling, so he's still in the galaxy form. He tends to forget quite often, so he has not.
It's okay. Maybe last second to come up with
Yeah.
something. I would like all of you to give me stealth checks.
Also, thank you very much to Spoot and another person who I won't call out their real name, but thank you very much for the donations. They are both above $20, Alice.
Oh, are you kidding me?
I would say, Kiana, you can take advantage because you used Disguise Self.
I need something good. Come
Get
on,
something
juicy
delicious.
pear.
Oh,
Oh, it's rotten egg again.
Oh man, that's gross.
How many of them are there in that bag?
All rotten eggs and vomit for you.
oh,
Just like shake it, mix it up a little bit more.
spoiled milk. I definitely got spoiled milk.
This is not a fun game.
No.
No, and this is a game designed for children!
Adults are mean.
Yes, this is like a weird. It's like I want to screw with my kids.
Yeah.
Play this game.
You're grounded and you have to eat only jelly beans.
Right. Jelly beans for you.
Yeah.
Well,
What is your?
we
good
all
call,
look
Adam.
fabulous, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Start a band.
Yeah.
What am I rolling again? I got awfully confused when I started eating soy milk.
You can roll a stealth check, please.
Oh boy.
Please take your seats.
That tracks. That tracks.
Like
So-
pregnant orc walking through.
So I'm going to just kind of paint a picture for you. Talgresa is clearly, you can see it in her fingertips and in the way her snout kind of pops out. She's very much so a lizard folk. The cloak kind of covers her exact identity, but next to her is a very young lizard folk child, perhaps just a hatchling. And they seem very much so like they belong in the area. When it comes to Bob, it's quite surprising how well it's managed to kind of tuck. Tail is kind of tucked up high up the back, so it's by the head, kind of flicking around at the back of the hair. Ears are tucked in, and hood just goes right over the nose, kind of relying on the ground below, but nothing seems to be noticed. Sophie is very small, so covered well, but standing close to Shell to kind of hide in that behind, as in two hatchling children, to kind of using Shell as a good person to hide behind. And Vanya walks with a very stoic confidence. As an elf, forms are kind of very high and shapely and can cover her ears and her face well enough as to where you can't tell. She walks with well enough grace. And then there's Golric, who has been slightly argumentative this entire time when it comes to be putting on these clothings of his. No, I don't need to tuck this here. I don't need to fold this here. It's fine. The hood is kind of covering just above the forehead line, and there seems to be this kind of like sturdy, kind of awkward. You can see the square base below the kind of hang of the dragon egg. And he feels very confident.
Can we also make it that like Abyssal was the language, and I'm just, since they said Draconic or Abyssal,
Yes.
I'm just
Yes.
belting Draconic at people? Like, I'm incubating, don't you know?
Everyone's gonna be like, dragon!
Yes, it is me, dragon person, lizard thing.
I see you're a lizard. I too am a lizard. Nice.
Oh my god.
I just can't wait to get under the heat lamp later. Oh, yeah.
Lay under the sun for my child, my eggs. But as you approach this village, it seems to be not like a village any of you have seen in your life. A lot of the homes are kind of just like open mouths made of probably clay and cob that lead to kind of tunnels downward as to where most of the homes would be. There seems to be larger ones for certain things, and there also seems to be a great fighting pit to the side of the village next to some lizards, like riding lizards and the which ones you've seen. Some cattle, but the cattle don't look quite like the cows you've known and trusted. They seem kind of warped. They have no fur, and it's just kind of fleshy and almost like they've begun to tan leather on their bodies as they kind of just uncomfortably trot around. And Tagresa looks to you and goes, "We must cross this town in order to go. We could always go around, but there is a history of purple worms outside of the village, so I think this is just simply the safest option."
As you say the safest option, Bob glances back at Gulric, who is just shouting.
In Draconic.
Behind him, like, okay.
And as you begin to walk into this village, there are, lizard folk all in the same cloaks as you, kind of just hustling around, grabbing things. There seems to be a lot of shops open today. It seems to be a very busy day as they all walk through. And you're getting kind of bumped and jostled. And then one kind of large lizard folk male seems to bump into Golric. And he looks up and makes eye contact.
Draconic, do you mind?
And he looks at you in Abyssal, and it sounds kind of just like to you. You're.
There's no need to get like that.
And he begins to kind of, and he actually takes his hands and he shoves you. And I would like you to make a strength or a dex in order to not fall over.
Oh!
I would like you to beat I rolled a natural 20.
Thank you very much to Ed, who gave all the players a reroll. Could you please reroll that nat 20 for me, Bria?
Thank you so much.
Don't break the egg.
It's still a 13 though!
Oh, I'm out. I used my reroll.
Take my reroll. Do not break this egg. Take my reroll.
Thank you, darling.
If you get lower.
I got that one. I got that one.
Oh my god. That's worse.
So, is it on your backs or is it on your fronts? You have your fronts like a
on my
baby,
front.
right?
Yeah.
So he
He's
pushes
pregnant.
you, and when he pushes you, your robes kind of dishevel as you're just desperately trying to hold onto this egg, and you kind of bounce on the ground. And everyone begins to see this, and Tagresa runs up and starts trying to whisper at him in Abyssal, and he starts to yell at her and point a finger, and this man is starting to start to make a lot of noise. There doesn't seem to be a lot of people noticing him yet, but he seems to start getting loud and angry. What would you like to do?
So hang on. So the person's making a lot of noise. This lizard folk who's now threatening over Golrick and shouting at him. Yeah. If Bob sees this thing shouting and attracting attention, I think Bob's gonna want to go over and just try and cover his mouth and knock him out with something. Just it's his instinct, just to thump him.
Just a quick knockout.
Yeah.
I would like to help as well.
An assisted attack. All right. What kind of roll would that be?
Well, is it possible to help by, as Bob's swooping over, I kind of go around the other side and just start humming and charm person while that's happening.
Yes.
Just
perfect.
like a double whammy.
All right, so that is a charisma save?
Oh, I'm sorry. That is a wisdom save, DC 14.
Wisdom save. All right, well, he doesn't have any wisdom, so.
And Bob, I'll give you a wink if it works.
Yeah. It doesn't, does it?
Nope.
No, I got an 18.
I go.
Okay, then
And he starts going,
I literally want to just turn him round, like, oh, and just in a panic, please try.
all right, give me
He just panics.
an unarmed attack roll, please.
What do I need to roll for that? Sorry.
Isn't that like a d20 plus your strength?
Did you want me to roll in athletics or something? Or...
It's an ability modifier is strength for it, so it's a to hit with strength to punch him in the face.
Thank you very much to Cutie V or Vicky, who donates for both Alice and I to get more rerolls. And we have set up our donations today so that they don't go to my PayPal, they go straight to Bree's. So although they don't hit on the GoFundMe total, they do still help out Bree. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sorry, what was I rolling, Bree?
It is a d20 plus your strength modifier.
Okay. Oh no. Oh, this is not
No pressure.
no pressure. Can I reroll? Can I reroll that, please?
You have 2 rerolls, sure.
Wow,
God.
Alice, my poor dear, you are
Oh
not.
my. What is happening?
No.
I just want to keep
No.
until he stops.
That's fine though. He's not wearing any armor, so a 10 does work. Okay, so you punch him square in his kind of front of his face, kind of between where his eyes are kind of laid in, and it's just one firm hit, and he kind of goes, and he falls forward onto you. And you're kind of still in the square center, and people are still looking down very much so, trying to get the things they are, and they're not quite paying attention to you. But you now do have an unconscious lizard folk. What would you like to do?
Are there any bushes nearby?
There seem to be no bushes, but there's a lot of these kind of round buildings. You do look off behind one of the buildings nearby. It seems to be some sort of shed type thing.
I start like dragging him, and as I do, I check his face and I slowly turn into him as I do, picking up his face and just quick drag him and just prop him up against the side of a house and pull his hook there so it looks like he's sleeping. And if I've got like, so I think, I don't know if it counts from my last adventure, I had like a bottle, so I just want to put it in his hand and leave it and back away.
So now this will sort of focus a drunk man. He's just relaxing in what seems to be this area. And you begin to make your way, and as someone walks now past you, Bob, they look at you and they kind of like hiss out their tongue and goes, oh, and he, hold on, and he starts muttering something in an abyssal language as he looks around, he pulls out a very strange fruit for you. And perhaps it is something that this man owed the other one, but he hands this very like luscious kind of fruit into your hands and just nods and he walks off.
Bob looks at it. And then Ian sort of just takes it and walks on, and he's sniffing it and having a look at it to see if it's, he might even, if it's soft, he'll break it open.
Okay, it's soft and it's very, it is very juicy, and he's gonna smell it. And you give it like a little bit of a lick, because you can tell it's not poisonous. You feel kind of invigorated, and you feel like if someone were to eat this, they would feel some sort of health restorative factors.
Huh. And he sort of just takes one bite, just like one little bite, and then just folds it up in like a napkin or something and puts it in one of his pockets.
And it is delicious. It is sweet. It's almost like you're eating food, but you're also drinking a full drink of juice. It's a wonderful fruit. The fact that you don't have this where you come from is a big bit of bullshit. It's great.
He's just like, just got it like around his mouth as he's trying to lick it off, and then he realizes his tongue is very different now, and it freaks him out a little bit because now he reminds himself of the lizard he was riding.
I would say very much so. You see the tongue and you just remember the laps that's your fur.
He just sort of shudders but walks back over to the group. He just sort of glances down at Sophie. He's like, how do I look?
Well, you know, I've never been one to lie to you, Bob, so you're pretty terrifying.
Good.
Talgresa goes. And Talgresa has seemed to not notice all of you very much now that we've taken care of this situation. She's kind of just like looming forward. And then she makes this, like a beeline past some houses, and she's like waving her hand as she just starts darting at full speed. Do you follow her?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So you.
I would like to kind of hover over Golric just to make sure that he's going in the right direction and he's not making too much of a commotion, and just kind of like redirecting him every time he gets distracted.
Just making sure Golric is safe. And Golric, have you checked on the egg since you've taken your fall?
Well, actually, when I stood up, I was getting ready to rage in my outrage of being pushed over, but I imagine
they took care of it for you as you stood like a mother. They were protecting the mother.
Yep. So I've not checked it as such, but I've been rubbing it and breathing heavily.
And as you rub your hand on it, you almost feel something. Just the tip of your finger, and you're like, "Oh no, that doesn't feel good." Is that a crack, or is that just the way the shell forms?
I'm gonna put my head under my cowl, like.
And in this 2 feet of egg, it seems just, and it only is about a centimeter in size. There is a tiny crack at the top of the egg, right top of it.
Oh dear. Can I make a check to see if it's okay?
Of course. Roll me either a nature, survival, or medicine check.
Nature will be the one I choose.
Okay.
24.
So as you follow behind everyone, you kind of just tucked your hands like into the side of the robe, and you're kind of feeling it. And as you feel it, it's still warm. You can almost feel, the egg kind of shifting around as it did when it was fine. And you kind of peer at it. It does seem, for all intents and purposes, the egg still holding a living dragon.
Okay. Now, everyone, and I'm going to say this in common rather than draconic. Everyone, don't panic.
What?
Don't.
That's how you get people to panic. Is saying don't panic. What did you do?
Oh no.
There's no.
While you have this discussion, I'm going to have a quick bio, so don't,
Yeah, sure.
don't
Well, actually,
break the dragon egg.
We're approaching like the 2-hour mark, so would we all like to take like a proper break in a minute? Yeah, a proper,
Yeah,
proper
that
bio
sounds
break. We're doing 4 hours rather than 3, so we can put proper breaks in the stream today. That seems cool to
Okay,
me.
well then you quickly tell them what you've done, Gordon.
Okay, look, I haven't done anything wrong,
Oh,
Debatable.
but there is a crack in the top of the egg. But the dragon is still very much alive.
Did you make the crack?
Yeah. Is this an idiot made crack or like a hatching crack?
Can I tell that?
It definitely didn't seem off because you were still kind of rubbing it because you're very much so very infatuated with the science behind this egg. You didn't feel the crack before you got shoved.
No, I didn't feel the egg. Is it a dent crack or is it like a hairline crack?
It's just a hairline crack for now.
I don't think it was an idiot crack. I think when I got shoved, it might have started the birthing process.
Oh God.
Can I do a history check to remember how long it takes dragon eggs to hatch?
I'll just tell you because I'm sure you do know this very well. It takes between 500 and 600 days. When the eggs start hatching, it could be done within 5 to 24 hours. And you know that this journey will take anywhere between 5 and 48 hours to finish this journey. You do also know that there is an extreme importance that this dragon sees the bronze dragon first in order to see it as its mother.
Right, there's no time to waste.
Oh,
This is going to be an emergency. The egg is hatching. We need to get it to its mother very quickly.
Well, we should go then. We should really go.
Yes,
We should
that's
go.
And also this is all happening till Gracie goes, well, there is a small problem that is at the edge of the town. And she points and you see 2 guards standing. She's, I don't think they like any of us very well. Nor will they like that. She points to Gorik's abdomen.
Okay, it's okay. I'll take care of this. I got this.
What are
It's
you
fine.
doing?
It's okay, Sophie. I've got it.
No, you don't got it. You messed so much stuff up.
I got
Stop.
it.
No, what are you doing, Bob?
Bob, what is Bob going to do?
Bob will stride over to the guards. And do they say anything before I approach, or is it just...
They just watch you approach. They don't say anything.
And are they the same sort of race I am right now?
Yes, they are 100% Yuan Ti pureblood. Some of that, and it's interesting too because you've noticed that some people have very just much like snake faces. Some of them have more lizard folk faces. Some of them have like tendrils of like spiders of hair. They're all very different but the same. So one is kind of like very, very large, and it's got kind of like a flat head with like frilling hair, and one almost looks like a humanoid, like a human woman, with just snakish features on her face.
And he walks up and he said, good day. And then hisses immediately after. I am not sure if you are aware, but there is a drunkard causing trouble just by one of the houses in the village. And I think you should go and check it out.
Alice, I need you to roll me a persuasion check.
Oh, God. Okay. Do I have any rerolls?
You do. You had one. You've also just been donated one by Levi Phipps, who donates
22.
a reroll for you and And Levi, the donation levels have changed, so you can only get one with £6 today. Also, thank you to Jaeger Larsen. I'm not sure how much this is, but they've donated 117 Norwegian kroner. I'll figure out how much that is.
So much. I'm going to learn a lot about money today. Like Norwegian krona. That's exciting. Thank you so much.
But Bob just keeps hissing and pointing in the opposite direction towards where he propped up that young guy.
So I don't know what everyone's history is with poisonous snakes, but when they kind of frill out their kind of fan, it is a terrifying experience. And he looks at you and he kind of squints his eyes as his pupils shrink into almost straight lines. His fans furl and then kind of flatten. And in Commons, he goes, where is he?
Over there, by the first house. Just points over in the direction away from the group where he left the body.
And they look at each other. They go,
he's causing a ruckus. Like, go quick.
Oh! The woman just kind of like just lets out a groan, but the man seems very interested in killing this man. So they go in a fury, and they run off. And there is no more guards.
And I look over and I'm like, come on.
Yeah, we're gonna go.
I did it. See, Sophie, I don't know why you worry so much.
Oh.
And so, as we get ready to take a break, thank you very much for that last donation that's come in, taking us above 2,400. And it's another one of $20. So I guess I'll take this one.
Please do.
I'm not sure because I'm colorblind. This is either going to be licorice, chocolate pudding, canned dog food, or skunk spray.
Those are some options. Holy.
Oh,
I want it to be
that's dog food. Dog food, yeah.
I love how he takes it.
lesser.
Yeah,
It's a lesser of all the evils.
Could be worse. I mean, I used to work in a pet store. You know, you end up eating some of it.
Oh my god.
I feel like have you never eaten dog food?
Yeah, no.
Rachel's life.
I've eaten so much dog food. Not like so much. But like...
Was that your lunch? Was that your lunch?
Diet, Rachel.
That came out so much more weird than I intended it. I don't.
Yeah, I have it for breakfast every day.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a little much. Okay, so the break screen's all ready. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back in a few. Enough time for a bio, grab a drink, and all that sort of business. And we'll be back with you in just a short while. Chat. I'll leave all the donation things and everything on screen whilst we're away. We'll see you shortly. Bye.
Wow, all this gold is for me? Thank you, you guys. Looks like we got a new friend!
Oh, hi everyone, we're back! We're back. There's no need for introductions or anything at this point. Let's just hand straight back to Bree and Alice's ridiculous persuasion attempt.
Hey, that was impressive and that was strong. I was like, how are they going to fight these guys without drawing attention to the other villagers? I'm sure they'll figure something. Oh, no, just kidding. Alice got it. Don't worry. It's fine.
Bob's got this. It's fine.
Bob has got this. And as you make your way out, Talgresa approaches you and goes, that was impressive.
Oh, thank you. See, Sophie? Impressive.
And you begin to make your way down as this kind of village ends, and you can see in the distance, it's like towering mountains, and you've seen them before in the far backs, but they seem to be so close now. And there is a valley in between them of stairs, and the stairs seem to just go on. And how Grace goes, up there is the temple, and that is also where I believe the dragon lives, in the mountain peaks.
Okay, so we just have to climb so many stairs.
I wondered, do your people have any, like, rideable spiders or anything like that? Would that be something we could purchase? I know we're feeling a bit squeamish about the spiders after the encounter in the woods. But I just think they would be much better at climbing a mountain than I would be. This would be my first time mountaineering.
That's fine.
Just need to carry the egg.
No.
Like, as Bob hears this, like,
we can take the stairs. The only people who tend to go up and down them are the servants. Just don't piss off any servants, and we'll be fine.
oh, we're not going to be fine. Okay, here we go.
I have an idea.
Ooh.
Yes, why don't Golrick, you go first? So if you fall, all of us can catch you.
It could land on us.
Yes. And then I just have to not trip up the steps, yes.
Okay, I'll walk in.
Oh, okay, so we'll walk in front in the back.
Talgresa will walk in front.
I mean, I don't mean to like be the bearer of bad news, but me and the kid, we're kind of both the same height. So I don't. If he falls and breaks the egg, he's gonna break us too. Just saying.
How about this? Nobody falls, Golrick.
I like that, yes. Do you have some sort of cunning plan or spell to cast?
No.
I see. You're just convincing me. Got it. Right, yes. No falling. Okay.
Golrick, here's the thing. You can do it. You can walk up those stairs. You can do it. Those little legs need muscle too. Bardic inspiration.
Yes, he will 100% need that as he walks up.
Thank you.
And as Golrick takes the first step, he goes, yeah, I can do this. By the 10th step, yeah, these are stairs. By around stair 105, it's kind of when you feel it in every, like your thighs are just burning, and it feels like you're trudging through like ooze, like every step hurts.
I'm gonna be leaning on my halberd with one hand on the egg, puffing and panting, literally like a pregnant woman trying to climb stairs. Can we stop for a second? Just for a minute.
Would you like to take turns?
The egg has reached.
I mean, I could try carry you.
I don't think he's going to let it go. I think he thinks it's his mother, or he's the mother.
Oh no, he's going to have a complex when we have to leave it behind.
Yeah, and that will be a problem because we're supposed to deliver it to its mother. And you know, you can't. I mean, I guess you could have two moms. You could have any.
You could have two moms.
You can have a lot of different parents. Like I have two grandparents and two dads and one mom and two sisters and one brother. But I mean, we're supposed to leave it. So
I have Sophie, and he just sort of puts a hand down on the top of Sophie's head.
And Talgresa looks at all of you. She's not sweating. It's maybe because she cannot sweat, but she looks. And she's kind of standing there with a hand on her hip. Our children make this journey around 6 times before they reach adulthood.
Have you thought about...
Judge us?
Have you
Yeah,
thought...
like, oh, damn.
Could you maybe move the temple closer to the people? It seems like a lot of unnecessary work.
I don't think you can just take a whole building and then just move it, unless. Yeah, I don't think you could do that.
Not with
There's-
that.
Sophie, how are you doing?
What?
You okay?
Great. I've climbed so much stuff in my life, and it hasn't been like a super long life, but it's been a lot of climbing, so my knees are cracking a little bit, but I'm great. Great.
And as you all banter, you almost feel like something changed in the air. It almost kind of grows static. And from above you at the top of the mountain, in a distance, you just hear a and it echoes. And Golric, this is a sound of pain, but it fills you with almost a renewed vigor, because this is 100% the scream of a living dragon. A true blue 100%. This is an actual dragon, Golric.
That's the bronze dragon! Come on! It's gonna be beautiful, off we go! It sounded like a pain scream, maybe it's birthing some more. Come on, we can do this!
Oh, he's gonna trip. Please, somebody just go.
I would like Golric to roll me a dexterity.
Bob
Oh,
is not
God.
running
Bardic inspiration!
back
You
into
can-
Max's
you can-
form. Bob is sprinting.
Roll me an acrobatics check. I think that will be the best. As you,
And because the bardic inspiration was for this check, I'm using it anyway. So it's 22.
22. You know, like when you're in PE in school and they have you like run up and you have to like kick your knees to your hands that are up here. He's almost doing that as he just kind of hoists himself right up these stairs, and he's passing Talgresa. He's like weaving around servants who are just lumbering down with heavy things. He's just go up the mountain. What's taking you so long?
And then meanwhile, like Sophie and Cheryl are like tiny legs.
Yeah, she's gonna go and be like, this is crap. Oh, this is horrible.
Bob
And it-
looks to both of them. He's like, "Do you want to piggyback? I normally carry 2 halflings at a time."
Oh my god, please.
Okay,
My
back
legs.
we go.
Okay.
Thank
She's just
you.
gonna lay on Bob's back.
Thank you very much to Devil to Pay, who also chucks in a $20 donation on the GoFundMe. Now, it would have been Alice's turn, but he does specify me, so...
Hey!
you.
I don't, this could be birthday cake or dirty dishwasher, I think.
Oh man.
Great.
I'll get back to you, I don't know.
There's such weird positive flavors that's almost like I couldn't imagine what a birthday cake jelly bean would taste like.
Is that dirty dishwasher? I'm not sure, honestly.
Yeah.
Wait till it starts foaming and then.
Yeah, then it's like.
Yeah, I think it must be, because it doesn't taste pleasant. I'm surely it'd taste nicer than this if it was birthday cake.
Bob can't help but pat Sophie on the back as she's like, and then looks down to Chell. He's like, "Do you want to piggyback too?"
Yeah, if you're up for it, and she'll scribble up as well.
Yeah, it's like, okay, and he just like you're carrying 2 halflings around most of the time, so he just
And up the stairs, we're just going, and by around stair 500, we've kind of reached a plateau. As we've reached kind of the top, there's still just a few more stairs, but this plateau kind of separates you now from the actual temple itself. And Talgresa kind of squats top. It's like, Golric, stop! Don't go no further.
Bob floors it, like just flat. Seeing this, you hadn't seen you do it.
There are potentially quite a few members of the cult up here.
Ah. Couldn't we just rush past them?
Well, what I'm trying to tell you is, for many years, our people have attempted to bring an avatar of our great leader. And as I hear the dragon scream, I fear that they are using him, or her, or whoever this dragon is, as a power source. So I want you all to just be prepared for whatever you see. And whatever you do not let them get to the egg. And as you peek your head over the little ledge, you do see about 4 or 5 creatures milling around. And you once again hear the screech, and it is booming now, and you almost feel its pressure, and you can see in the distance a gargantuan head shaking amongst chains in the distance. And it seems that the dragon is close by, but is being held.
There must be something we can do to get up there and clear the place out. Perhaps, I mean, exams are usually pretty strict on not letting people out, and but usually a fire or a fire alarm going off, clears the building.
We could scream like a fire alarm really loud.
I'd like to look at everything, all the possibilities. I just want to look around, see what parts of the environment we could use.
All right, roll me either a perception or an investigation.
Okay. Man, this dice roller is going low. It's a 3 perception. Okay, that is a 14.
Okay, with a 14. So you see a few high spires that are around this dragon. And the dragon seems to be about 100 feet away from you. It is encapsulated by 4 pillars that are glowing a blue energy, and the chains are going from there around the dragon's necks and bodies. There seems to be a large fire pit in the center where 2 priestesses are focused on it, and the ground seems pretty flat. There doesn't seem to be a lot of things to perhaps topple over, minus the 1 large pillar to your right. The only fire is in the center, and then there is a dragon in the back. The fire seems to be changing color as the dragon screams, from reds to blues to greens to yellows. It begins to take a shape and then dissipate, and take a shape and then dissipate.
There isn't a control panel or anything like that between here and there, is there?
No, but it looks like at these pyres that there are 2 priestesses kind of using arcane forces to.
Okay. So it looks like we'll have to take out the priestesses.
Priesty.
I mean,
Priest.
do we need a distraction? Do they know we're coming?
They look like they're kind of focused.
Yeah.
What about if we just saunter through real casual?
I don't think that casual's like in your repertoire.
Wait! I have parchment and a quill! No one ever stops anyone if they're walking along with parchment and a quill. They assume they're doing something important.
You actually do have a point.
And Bob starts pulling some of the more parchment out of his pockets, a bit crumpled, and starts passing it to you.
Godric, are you going to walk forward?
Yeah, I'll take the parchment and quill, and I'll walk forward like I'm counting and judging everything.
And you're still the one holding the dragon egg.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know if that's a good idea. I think, honestly, we must separate the distraction from the egg.
What about a different distraction?
Well,
I suppose I could part with it. I mean, it'd be weird walking without this little weight on my tummy, but I could separate from it for a little while. And,
I have many spells I can cast from afar, so perhaps I should wield it.
Sounds like a good plan.
Okay, well,
I'll take good care of it, I promise.
it's okay. It likes it when you rub that little spot there.
Okay.
Be careful of the crack. It's a little bit sensitive about it. I think they're a bit shy about coming out.
And as you do hand over the egg, you do notice that the crack has gone from this big to around this size.
Uh-oh.
So it's a
Okay.
few inches long now, kind of parting down towards the center.
I put it on my front, and I have the cloak over it to disguise it so nobody can see. So I actually do look pregnant.
And,
Nora probably just looked a little fat. A little glossy, a little fat. It's okay.
Yeah.
Would you like to roll another form of stealth to disguise yourself, Godric, or are we holding on to that natural one? Are you going to adjust your robes at all?
I think that'd be good. I should be quite good at looking like a scholar. So I'll have another go.
Okay.
Stealth or performance?
Let's do a performance. I feel like this is a show that we're all going
Oh
to.
God.
That's okay. I have a reroll, and I'm gonna use it. For a 10. There we are, there's a little increase
Yeah.
there.
A little bit better.
Chel's just gonna look. I mean, I can come with you. She still looks like the small version.
Oh yeah.
I can come with you. I'm apparently really good at talking. So if we need talking, I can do that.
Excellent. It takes parchment and the charcoal and gives it to you, Chell.
Now we have this tiny lizard child, both holding. I think she's mirroring him too, so it's like holding it the exact same way as, and just like looking at Will Knight scribbled down. You know the like I'm pretending to write notes thing, and just like we'll keep going. So.
All right. Would you like to give me a performance, Shell? We will take the average of the two.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yes, that is much better. That puts you over a 16 at least.
Nobody suspects the small child.
Right. So you make your way over to the pyre of flames, and as you do approach, it does begin to like grow in size. The person focusing on the flame does not seem to notice you. The people who are working on the dragon do not seem to notice you. But a single, perhaps guard, very large snake man, does kind of peer over and see these two note takers. And he approaches, and he does notice, Golric, that you are not a Yuan Ti, and he does ask in common, "Who are you?"
Auditor. Can I I'd like to quickly investigate him. Is there anything out of place on his uniform? Is his weapon notched? Anything at all?
Roll me an investigation.
Bree's so dumb.
11.
11.
Oh my god.
He seems to have a little bit of like, his scales seem to be kind of like ruffling towards the bottom. Perhaps he hasn't smoothed his scales lately.
Is that proper dress? The scales being ruffled? I was given to understand that you're supposed to look presentable at all times as a guard, especially around the temple. I'm making notes.
And he looks down at you. And who are you going to tell, fool?
On a whim, Golric says, "The High Priestess who hired me, of course."
High Priestess. Well, let us go and ask her what she thinks.
The problem with that is that if you do get in trouble, then you're going to be in real big trouble because then you bothered her when you shouldn't have bothered her. So maybe we should just, pretend this whole conversation didn't happen, and you can just go and leave us to our work.
And he, as you say this, he gestures to the lizard folk in front of the fire. Well, she is right there.
And she's doing very busy work.
Yes.
So
Perhaps.
we shouldn't go bother her.
No, perhaps you are just what the fire needs for the last bit of power.
Well, of course we're what the fire needs. We're here making sure that everything's in order for this very important ceremony.
He is going to put his hand on your shoulder, Golric. He's going to try and turn you. Do you follow him, or do you...
Chell is going to put the tug on the guy's uniform. I really don't think it's a good idea. I'm going to cast Charm Person.
All right, and that's a wisdom save, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Golric is starting to look like they might be fuming. They haven't raged yet.
Nope, that fails.
Okay.
I would like to see this like beginning of the turning, and I would like to hold person.
Yeah.
on
So
him.
he begins to like kind of like look, and he like looks over at Shell and goes, I understand. And what kind of saves do you make?
It's a wisdom, DC 14.
Oh! Oh!
Can I use my reroll on you so you have to reroll?
Yes, you can.
All right.
God!
So his hand is firmly still grasped upon Golrick's robes, but he is not moving.
Ow. Okay, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. And Chell will start just kind of like, like putting herself between and just like separating
Yeah.
Golrick from the frozen
Go
guard.
take his pen and start like.
And as this happens, the dragon once again makes a scream of just absolute pain and terror. And this time it is so deep and so gut-wrenching. I need all of you to make dexterity saving throws to stay standing.
Oh my goodness. Do I have a reroll? I think I have a reroll.
You have 2.
Oh, I will use a reroll. What's the point?
So it seems that everyone except for Bob and Golrick managed to remain standing. Just as you manage to pluck the remaining grasp of his hand, you fall flat on your back, Golrick. Shell, you're close to the ground, so you kind of just spread your legs and kind of gain traction. But as you notice, the flames have begun to rise 10, 15 feet, and they begin to take more of a shape as this high priestess, unknowing to what you are doing, begins to just continue.
Okay, Chell is going to look at the flame, look at Golrick, look kind of where the others are, and she's going to run right at the high priestess.
What is she doing?
I will give you one surprise round.
Cool.
Are there locks on the chains, just out of interest?
I'm sorry?
Are there locks on the chains?
It seems that the chains are coming directly from these blue spheres around the dragon. There are 4 of them.
Okay.
All right.
The child is running. The child is
The
running.
child's running.
Why is the 11-year-old, the 11-year-old, guys, why have you put this on?
Golrick's on the floor. Like, you can't do anything. She's running off.
Yeah, she is going to, she seems to be concentrating, right?
Yes.
Okay. She's gonna go up, and as she's starting to run, she is going to cast Hideous Laughter.
Yeah.
What is the saving throw for Hideous Laughter? Is there
That
one?
is a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
I'm going to use my reroll on that. I have several. I've been saving them up.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she's just gonna she's running, and she's just gonna cast the spell.
All
and
right.
her think everything is funny.
So she begins to, and it is a disgusting sound, as she begins to chuckle. And she chuckles as the flames grow and they fall, and they grow and they fall. And she just begins to laugh, and she turns to you while she's laughing, and her curved hands kind of pointed to you, and then just begins to chuckle at your sight. That would I like everyone to roll initiative.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's rolling pretty damn good initiative.
So, and retroactively, the joke was, "What kind of lizard tells jokes? A stand-up chameleon."
Oh, Christ alone. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Alright, and for her initiative. It's initiative 5, so she has no place to do anything but.
Nice.
We'll put her as a 5, and we will add the 2 priestesses that are there. They will go together. We have 14. And the now still very much so held, poor guard, did nothing wrong.
Did he?
I bet he's done one bad thing. Not one, but
At least one bad thing.
I'm sure he's done a few bad things to deserve what is happening to him. I'm sure he's like eaten a child or something. Killed a dragon.
That's very specific. Has he eaten a child?
I should also tell you about the high priestess, because failed, is now prone and incapacitated and unable to stand up until she saves.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'll just put bloods because they're going to go together at 14. And we will descending order. So the abomination is held. Is there a... Does he make another wisdom save on the beginning of his turn, or does he just done?
The high priestess just gets let me just pull it up.
Well, no, she's last. She's last, but the abomination has a hold person.
Right, yes.
And
But it's the hold person. That
at the end of his turn. Well, he can't do anything for his turn, so he'll
Yes.
make a wisdom save, and a 6, so he fails. Ulrich, it is your turn.
I will see the child running and telling jokes, and I'm immediately going to become furious. This is no way to behave in a temple. I'm going to rage, and I'm going to run. I'm going to run at the. I'm going to run towards the priestess.
Okay. Roll to hit my priestess.
I shall. 16.
You do hit my priestess.
Actually, is it too late to retroactively say my first attack will be a reckless attack, so they're all reckless attacks? Would that be...
That's fine.
That's fine, brilliant. So 22. 5 slashing damage. Oh, and rage damage as well, so 7 damage. And then second attack, keep laughing, 13.
It does not hit.
No. Well, I got one good hit in. I mean, that's pretty good.
Got one good hit in there. Yes, you did. All right. Anya, you have witnessed what seemed to be a simple distraction tactic turn very sour.
Awesome. I like slow walk, but slow saunter, but fast.
So fast.
Shatter on one of the orbs that's holding the chain.
So you approach and you kind of just casually walk past the entire combat that is happening. And you cast Shatter. All right. Is that a saving throw for that?
If it is a creature, it has to make a con save. Otherwise,
It just
No.
gets shattered.
yeah.
So as this shatters, I would actually like you to make me a wisdom save.
All right. That is a 19 on the die. That's a 21.
All right. So you will take half of, we'll round down. We'll say you take 4 damage, psychic damage. And when you do that, the dragon kind of like rears around as his right hand frees, and you kind of have to step back to your side so it doesn't swipe you. And it's just fury of desperate attempting to escape.
And then, and then I'm continuing to the next one.
Okay. And that would bring it to Sophie.
So from where the position that Sophie's at, because she didn't go down, how far away would you say she is from the priestess?
I'd say about 15 feet where she lays.
Looks like we got
All right,
their
that's
friend.
cool. She's actually gonna take out her short bow and shoot a bolt at this priestess. Try to hit her in like the back of the knee, somewhere like not fun to hit. Hopefully, that's a bad roll. Oh,
She was a great priestess until she took an arrow to the knee.
in the back of the knee. Will a 15 hit?
A 15 just hits.
Oh my gosh. That's just 1d6 plus 4. That's 5 damage. I rolled a 1.
That's fine. 5 damage is good damage. We don't discriminate on damage here. But that does...
That was a bad idea, guys. Stop.
That does then bring it to Bob's turn. You are now free of halflings and able to move and
Bob-
stand up.
Bob is not quite standing up. He's sort of laying down and taking aim with his crossbow, like trying to aim it at this priestess. Just like, okay, and breathe in and out. And he fires with 24.
24 hits her.
Woo!
24 hits her well. And it goes probably like into her shoulder, and she just begins to just like bubble up with this like
He can't help but just like, Sophie, I did it again. Like as he sort of
Bob is like kicking ass.
Like high five and starts loading up the next one.
All right, and that brings it to the pure bloods that are now just near Blanya, so that's who they will reach out to attack. One will shoot with a short bow. Does a 10 hit?
No, it does not.
All right, and the other one will take out a scimitar and make a multi-attack. So we have a 10 and a 16.
The 16 does hit.
All right, so you take 2 slashing damage.
Ouch.
All right, and that is all they can do on their turn. And that brings it to Talgresa, who, seeing what Blanya is doing, thinks she's a genius. And she rolls that way and shoots her shot with a short bow at 1 and deals 4 damage to it. And that brings it to you, Shell.
Okay, so how far away are these that just attacked Vanya?
I'd say about 20 feet away from you.
Cool. I'm just gonna... Could I move myself so that if I managed to make a 15-foot cone, I could catch those two and not Vanya?
I would say yes, you could.
Cool. Let's do... She's going to put out her hands and she's going to cast Color Spray at level 3 because I can do that.
Yes, you can.
That is not what I wanted to do there. 6 to 10 plus 40 10. 58 hit points is the effect I can do on. So if they have 58 hit points or less, they're going to get blinded.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes.
Excellent. So both of them are blinded.
Yep. So advantage on those attacks later on.
Very good. Very good. So yes, they are like blinded, covered in like paints and colors, and they're
it's just like iridescent rainbow. Currently, it's just they're just like, if they looked any form of like guards, they're rainbow lizards.
wonderful.
Right, rainbow lizards.
The frail Ola will make a wisdom saving throw now that it's her turn, unless there's anything else you can do, Shell.
I do not think so. So.
All right. So this is for the hideous laughter. Does a 16 save?
A 16 does save, but I'm going to use one more.
But is that the end of her turn for it, or is the beginning of her turn?
Yeah, let's scroll up.
The end of her turn. So I think it would...
At the end of each turn, yeah.
Okay. And as the end of her turn hits, the flame that is kind of dancing around in size begins to make a barking noise. How dare you stop me! And the dragon begins to scream again as this flame shoots up 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 feet into the air, and it begins to start taking shape. And you start to see like the head of a large snake. Imagine like a copperhead's kind of maw and face. As it begins to form and it moves its head around, and large serpentine wings kind of move, and it's kind of face to face with this gargantuan dragon as it begins to fold through the flames and take shape. And for its action, a gargantuan creature has taken the field. It is the avatar of Mershal. And that is his turn, because he's coming to life.
I'm sure this is fine.
It's fine. It's fine. The Yuan Ti Abomination is going to attempt to make a saving throw. All of my creatures are all suffering from various afflictions from the party. That's another wisdom.
Yeah. 14.
Tension. Did we lose Bree?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it was just Bree, briefly.
No!
She's gone from
come
Roll20 as well. It's probably an internet cutout. She'll probably be right back. Give her a couple of minutes. An avatar appearing.
Stressed.
This is fine.
Should have stayed at the shop. I should have stayed at the shop.
Whereas Bob's there going, aren't you glad we left the shop?
It's a horrible idea, Bob! Never! I'm planning the next one! I'm telling Talia!
Then I'll tell Suri.
Oh, yeah, we've lost Bree.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. There she is.
I get it. You didn't want me to save, guys, but you didn't have to cut off my internet. Like, that's a little bit on the unnecessary scale. I rolled like 30 saves, but we're taking the 7 as the accurate one. Yay! So the abomination is still very much so frozen, and it takes it to Golric.
Golric will continue to swing at the high priest, but he's currently sorting out the overlay. So just give him a quick second as he hastily readjusts the cameras.
Everyone is everywhere right now.
It's
chaos.
It is literally chaos.
There we go, all back to normal. Ship shape. Right, well, hopefully if the priestess dies, then this avatar will also go away. So I'm going to keep wailing on this priestess, who seems a little angrier than I am, but, we'll maintain that I'm raging. A 19, reckless.
That hits.
Fantastic. That is 12 damage, that's better, I'm learning how to roll. And then extra attack. Nya. Oh, hang on a minute. No, never mind. A 20.
Yes, a 20 hits.
And 8 damage, so a total of 20 damage.
Beautiful. And it's almost like you just swing down on her and just completely chop off her right hand. And she just begins to bleed, and as she clutches it, she goes...
And as she holds it up for a second and goes,
Beautiful. Beautiful. And by beautiful, I mean this is a disgusting array of you guys just beating on this entire cult. And it brings it to Flania's turn.
I was going towards one orb, and then I go towards the other orb because I don't want that shatter to hit me. So I'll move as far away as I can. My shatter is a 60-foot range, so I shatter the next one that I'm not next to.
Okay, so you get a bit of a distance so it doesn't quite blow back at you.
Yeah.
All right. So you shatter, and this one bursts, and the dragon begins to take a big pull as its body is nearly free, and it begins to like growl, and it starts to shout something in Draconic towards this serpent creature, which Golric you do understand, and the dragon, in a very soft Draconic voice, just goes, "I will not let you defeat me here, Murshok. You have killed my families and my race, and you will not defeat me here." And at the end of your turn, Vlania, unless there's anything you can do.
That is all I choose to do here.
All you choose to do. At the end of your turn, you do begin to feel something happening within the egg. Feel a shake against your chest. And it shakes, but nothing seems to come of it yet.
I look.
Cracks are spidering off of this thing as it is just trying to beat its way out. And that would bring it to Sophie's turn.
Do you think Sophie would be intelligent enough to see what Vlanya's doing and be like, oh, we should blow up the orbs to free the dragon?
That's a very good question. You have to tell me that.
Can I do like an insight roll?
Yeah, do an insight. Give me an insight. It's always important when you have to double check your character's willingness to help.
We're gonna say no in this moment. That was a 6 total. So
Vonnie isn't even real to you right now. There's a big giant creature 60 feet in the air.
She's like, that's some great hair. All right, time to shoot an arrow. So she's gonna she's actually seeing this giant snake avatar form. She's going to use I'm gonna say like 20 feet of her movement to put more space between her and all of whatever is going on, and then she's gonna shoot another bolt at this priestess, hoping to hit something vital.
Okay.
Oh, 19!
Excellent.
That's awesome. All right. And hey, okay. 9 damage.
Heck yeah. Oh, heck yeah. And there's another just perfect plug right into this laughing creature who is just starting to bleed from so many different places. She's just kind of shaking around. Is there anything else you would like to do to her or anywhere else?
No, I think that's about it.
Excellent. That will bring it to you now, Bob.
Bob is like combat shuffling around to the side to get a better look towards the high priestess, but keeping distance, and again looses an arrow and is out of breath. 21.
Wonderful, a 21 will hit. That is a good bit of damage. You hit her, and you hit her hard.
It's just like, okay, and keeps moving as he puts another bolt in, but that is the end of his turn.
Excellent.
Sort of working his way around to the side, but keeping a distance.
Wonderful. And that would then bring it to these purebloods, who have now disadvantage on all of their attacks. But they're going to both try and, from the sound in which they can kind of hear the shatter coming from, they kind of run in the general direction of Vanya, and they just start slashing. So the first one is a 5 to hit, the second one is a 6 to hit, the other one swings at you, and it is a 14 to hit. And
That hits.
All right, so there's 2 14s, so this one does make purchase with you.
I go like this.
So it gets upon your arms mostly, the damage does, and it's 6 slashing and 2 slashing.
Ooh.
They're not friendly by any means. But that will be the end of their turn, until Grace, seeing Mershulk, just makes a disgusting hiss as she looses a short bow at it. And misses terribly. It bounces off its natural armor. And she begins to swear at it in Abyssal. You don't have to know Abyssal to know she is not being friendly at this creature. And it leads to Shell.
Okay, so there's a lot going on here.
There's a lot. This is not something that a child is equipped to handle by any means.
It's just like so many sensory things going on at once.
This is not your roadhouse. This is not your wheelhouse. You do wish you were anywhere else but here.
Yep. Okay, so I've still got these wizard folks who are now just starting to blink out these rainbow from their eyes. And how many orbs have been shattered?
2 of the 4 orbs.
2 out of 4. The high priestess is getting beat up on.
Decimated.
Yep. And there's an avatar that's just going above us.
Oh, yeah.
Did I get everything?
The dragon is now fighting its way out, and Vlania looks terrified as the egg shakes. You can see the egg shaking below her, Rose.
Cool.
No pressure.
Awesome. Okay, I'm just gonna keep dealing with these people and just making sure they stay out of the way of everybody else. So we're just gonna we're gonna cast color spray again.
There we go.
Just keep them occupied. So that'll be 10 plus 2, 10. 40 hit points worth of blinding.
Yep, they both blind.
Cool. And I'm going to use a bonus action and just call out, You can do it. I believe in you, Vanya, and that will be a bardic inspiration.
Hey, the team of the bards, Bard Love.
And that is all the child is going to do.
All right, and Frail Olo. Did she pass her save earlier or did she fail? Oh yeah, I think she rerolled to fail. I think she was rerolled to fail. So she'll make another wisdom save.
Yeah, that's a success.
All right, but that is at the end of her turn, so there's nothing she can quite do for her actual turn.
I think, and I hate to be that person, but I think she actually succeeded last time. She rolled a 19.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Oh man, now I feel like teacher's pet.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
Because it's fine, because she kind of stands up, and she kind of just... Oh, and she looks at you, and she looks around, and she sees that her hand is missing, but she sees all of the arrows poking out of her back and body, and she turns to face where Bob and Sophie are, and she casts Fireball
Oh no.
on you. So you have to make a DC 14 Dexterity saving throw.
Not like this, not like this, not
You
like
just
this.
hear Sophie duck. Can I
There's a pass.
We're good. I rolled an 18. My dex save is +7.
Hey, that's 2 saves. You only take 9 damage.
just sort of throw both of us on the floor?
The flames kind of burn over your backs, but no major damage. It even
Yeah.
seems that your scarves were saved through
You got
all of
my
it.
fur, and I'm like, ha, 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 as I sort of like try and tap any out. If anyone does.
Throw
Perfect.
Throw me out.
I'm just gonna like spit on her hand and try to like put it out.
Ah!
But as this happens, this great serpentine creature leans over Telgresa and uses Chomp. So it reaches down and bites her.
Ah! Sorry.
And it is, his jaws completely encompass her body. And she does not make the save. And then he swallows her. And in what feels like, again, in only 6 seconds, he bites down on what her like abdomen, and you hear like a screech from within as he then pulls her entire body inside.
Bob is frozen, looking at this for a moment, and looking at Sophie. Is like, oh no, looking around at the rest of the group.
And that is his turn. He swallows your guide. Just like that. In 6 seconds, he managed to just, from all you can tell, completely murder Helgresa. And it is now the Yuan Ti Abomination's turn. No pressure! No pressure, Shell. It's fine. It's gotta be a little bit traumatizing. My apologies. He attempts to make his save from the hold person. It's the 14 past this hold person save.
Yeah.
Alright, so he moves, but it's the end of his turn, so he like whips out his weapon. He goes, die! And it is your turn, Gorik. You are still in front of this priestess who did just blow up your friends.
I have some questions.
I have some answers.
How does she look?
Oh, like shit.
Okay. How far away are we from the stairs?
About 15 feet. The dragon is still trapped.
I was considering shoving her down the stairs.
I mean, you can attempt to grapple her. You could just do like a running throw. I'm sure Goldrick is strong enough for such things.
Yeah, no, I'd have to make a second attack. No, I'll continue to wail. Oh, no, let's do it for comedic effect. Why not? So I'll use one grapple attack to try and grapple her. I am still raging, so I do have advantage.
Okay.
A 12.
All right. Well, I'll say because I'd say because she's in such bad shape, she probably has a disadvantage on this. And it's a 12, so it's a match. Do you wanna... What's your strength modifier? 2?
+2.
Alright, I say you've succeeded at that one because she's got a +0. So you managed to, like, hoist her by, like, under her arms.
Cool. So now I'll take her and move half my speed. At half speed, I'll move towards the stairs, and then my second attack will be the shove attack. So I'll shove her 10 feet into the open air over the stairs, and hopefully she'll fall all the way down.
Alright, roll me.
That's a long way to roll.
It's only 505 stairs.
Oh my god.
So...
Nat 20!
Yay! You don't push her. You watch her. and as she's in suspended air, and she kind of goes over that little plateau completely down to where the 500 stairs are, she like kind of reaches out at you with her one hand as the other hand just kind of spurts blood, and her tongue kind of flicks out in a bit of fear as she falls backward and head first. Then she rolls, and you hear the crunch as she just continues. And you don't have the time to quite watch her make it down all of the stairs, but every step, it seems, she just smashes a bit more. And
Best if we don't look down there.
all right,
That's a lot of blood.
that is a lot of blood. The stairs will need to hire a cleaner.
But now I'm gonna look at the avatar, because she's gone, right? So
The avatar has purchased the plane.
And Golric still has let's see, halved 10 feet of movement. So he'll start making his way back towards the the avatar and try and soak up some of that damage instead.
All right, that makes it your turn, Vanya.
All right. So I'm going to phase step to the other orb, but
Okay.
because those bad guys were near that other orb, I would like to shatter that orb, and hopefully they take the damage of that.
I believe that makes complete sense.
Woot woot.
And that's what save?
That is a wisdom save. It's con save. Just kidding. Con save. DC 14.
Fail. They both fail it.
All right. Cool. Oh, wait. They're in the shatter. Oh, they're inside the shatter. That's 4d8 damage. Oh, snap. Hold on a second. I'm very excited about this. And unexpected.
Oh, goodness.
8.
I love when spells just keep on giving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2.
Spells that keep on giving.
6. 1. 17. Points of damage.
17. And you blast these creatures, and all of their bones seem to shake. They kind of fall prone, but they are still standing there.
Woo.
All right. And you do definitely just destroy the other purchase of this thing. And with it, the weight of the dragon with the last set of chains rips off the final set of bondage. And the dragon is now freed. And it turns its attention to you, Vanya. And you can feel like a telepathic energy kind of hitting you. And this creature is attempting to communicate with you telepathically.
I open my brain.
And it's almost like a wash of comfort. I will take care of this creature. But when the egg hatches, please make sure I am the first thing it sees. And it is going to... And the wings kind of put air everywhere as it kind of starts to soar up towards this creature. The end of your turn, the dragon is going to make... Where is it? I have like 150 little tabs open for things. What is that? So the dragon, again, you feel it kind of struggle against you, but it does not seem to break out of its shell.
And I was definitely going like this.
Oh yeah, and
all of my friends could see it.
You can choose to say you've noticed or not now that Vanya is now panicking about the egg. You do see the giant dragon soar up into the sky, kind of trying to get probably about 40 feet in the air, towering above the flying creature. And it is now Sophie's turn.
Okay, just to be clear, those other two priests that were near that shattered orb are still standing.
Yes, and there is a full health abomination that has just started to like move its scimitar around.
Okay. So Sophie's going to cast Ice Knife and throw it at one of the priests that's over there. So I believe that's just a normal, I don't think I add anything to that. I think it's just a flat d20 to hit for an attack.
Probably your spell.
Yeah, it is. Sorry. Okay, so 17 to hit.
You hit.
Okay, so that's 1 d10, and when it hits, it's going to explode. So that target and each creature within 5 feet of it have to succeed on a dex save or take 2d6 cold damage.
Well, I have a feeling they're both going to fail because they have disadvantage on this.
Relevant information, Bree. Isriver just donated £30 to have a complication introduced.
Ah, yay.
Always Isriver. I see you, Isriver.
Oh, Christ.
Oh, man.
So during this moment, it feels very, very kind of invigorating. We've killed one enemy. We have freed the dragon. Things are going very well. You shoot these darts, and they do damage. What is the damage for it?
The D10 was a 10, so
max damage. Heck yeah.
Yeah, and then so they had to make a dex save. What did they get?
Both failed. They both had disadvantage and failed.
So then that is 2d6 cold damage.
Okay.
So 5 and a 6. Oh my god.
Heck yeah. So the one that you shot the ice at, the ice kind of bubbles up from within it, and it kind of just explodes with a spray of cold. And as it does, it kind of hits towards Blanya, its range so far, and it begins to hit at the egg, this cold energy. And Blanya, the shaking that you felt begins to stop.
Someone hug the egg.
Oh, dear Lord.
Anything else you would like to do for your turn?
Roll, just curl up on the ground and cry because I just killed the baby dragon.
Okay. After your turn, Sophie, it's Bob.
Bob, seeing Sophie sort of recoil and just curl up, sort of runs. Well, he doesn't run. He's still sort of almost combat moving, but faster now. So can I just get one more time the layout of where things are, cultist-wise?
I'm muted. So where you've been has kind of been towards the stairs. You've kind of been inching around that area. Directly in front of you, about 20 feet, is a gargantuan snake, to the point where its tail almost snakes past you down towards the stairs. It's got large wings. It's about the same size of a floating dragon above it. It's a very big creature. To the right of it, about 15-20 feet, is where the abomination is. And then about 10 feet behind that, again, is where Vanya and the Yuan Ti pureblood is.
Okay, so this huge snake that's kind of around, I think Bob's going to roll and try and aim up and just try and shoot it through the eye.
Okay.
A 20.
20 hits. A 20 just hits.
Just hits. Oh my. Well, Bob is going to just sort of roll as it comes sort of swinging out and fire upwards towards the
Okay. And you do. It does hit this creature. Goes right into its, lodges right above its eyes to where, its eye socket is, and it kind of sits. And you can hardly see it because it's so high up, but this tiny spoke sticking out of it. And you've successfully hit the avatar of Murshok. Hopefully it doesn't take that as a slight and eat you.
Hey, if I can be a distraction right now, there is a baby dragon, I'll do it. I'll have to run, but...
Okay. From Bob, it is the last remaining Yuan Ti, and it is blinded. So it's just going to, in the general direction that it thinks that things are, it's just going to try and... Oh god, I can't even find its character sheet. There's so many things up right now. So many tabs. It is going to try and do a poison spray at you, Flanya. It is not a 24. It is a 14. So ignore the 24. What do you got, Flanya?
What was the question? I was privately messaging.
It's okay. It's a con save for poison spray.
Oh, balls.
You have advantage because it's blinded still.
15.
15 gets it. It was only
Okay.
So you take no damage. You're like, ooh, no, don't touch it. The egg already has enough problems. And that brings it to... well, Tell Grace has been eaten, so... Shell.
Great. Have I seen the look of panic on Blandia's face that this egg had stilled?
That's a good question, Flanya. How does your face look right now?
Okay. So Cheryl's just gonna, again, look at everything going on, and we'll just run over to Blanya, and she's just going to wrap her arms around the egg and Blanya, and she's going to cast a Cure Wounds.
Yay!
Onto the egg.
Excellent.
So, let me double check how much that is, but yeah, she, 1d8 plus, spellcasting. 8 points of healing to the egg.
8 points of healing. And as
8
you
points
are...
of hug healing.
And as you two clutch each other, as all of this chaos is going around, it is almost silent between you. As you can feel your hearts beat. And then ever so quietly, you hear beat from within the egg. Very faint, but you feel some sort of energy coming back to life from this dragon.
I hug you hard, but not hard enough to crack the egg.
Don't squeeze the egg out.
Yes, it's a very awkward hug around the egg, but we're doing it. The healing power of hugs.
Oh, I was sweating there. I'm not gonna lie.
The whole mission failed. Okay. Is there anything else you would like to do, Shell?
Okay, I'm just gonna look back around and I'm just gonna see I'm gonna see Sophie who's currently not look, and she's gonna be, it's okay, Sophie, we all make mistakes, but we can do it. We can do it together. Bardic inspiration.
Okay.
Wonderful. And in Vale Olo's place, the High Priestess, it is the turn of the Murshok. For you, Bob, it is, I'd say, your lucky day, as it does not seem to mind you. But it does start to, and it rises into the air as it does a hard bite at the dragon. And it misses its hard bronze scales against the dragon, and it misses. And in return, the dragon breathes breath weapon on the creature. And they begin to just fight it out in the sky. Claws and rakes and screeches as these two gargantuan beasts. And you all do begin to think, if one of these dies in the air, It will 100% land on me. But that is their turns as they lock into a battle. All right. And it is the Yuan Ti Abomination's turn. And he is going to approach you now, Bob, because he sees what you've done. It's fine. He's probably not going to hurt you or anything. And he is going to pull out his longbow, and he shoots twice. Does a 13 hit?
13 does not hit.
But a 25 hit.
25 does.
So he does 13 piercing damage and 10 poison damage. And that is his turn. Goldrick, what would you like to do?
Well, seeing as the dragon has probably got that covered, I will in fact run towards the Yuan Ti Abomination that's just started shooting at my friend Bob. I'll do a little change of course, and I'll run towards them, screaming, "You should have oiled your scales!" And beat them with my helmet. Does a 10 hit?
A 10 does not hit.
Extra attack. Oh boy.
Oh,
Well, at least it's a 7 on that one, so.
Right. I would say it is a bit of a as he kind of just dodges around you with a snake-like body, almost like he has no other bones but a spine, as he just moves around your swings. And that brings it to Vanya.
okay. How far is the avatar?
I'd say it's about 30 feet near away from you.
Perfect. I would like to witch bolt the heck out of it.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, at level 3.
Oh, heck yeah.
Oh yeah, and it's taking damage. Ba-ba-ba. Okay. Okay. Do I have any rerolls?
You do have
Yeah,
one. You have
you
one.
definitely have rerolls.
Just checking.
Yeah,
Just
you've
checking.
got one reroll.
Does a 16 hit?
It does not hit.
Oh, the second one doesn't. That's a 3 on the dice. Well, I tried. Okay. Yeah, so.
It's just moving too quickly, its giant snake body. But at the end of your turn, the heartbeat has begun to race within this little dragon. You feel its force trying once again. What is that? What is that?
Oh, no.
And at a natural 20, we'll say the reason why your witch bolt didn't hit is because as you were trying to reach out, your body is like kind of blown back almost as this egg pulls itself out. And it from everyone else's perspective, this is like horror movie style, as from her robes pulls out a slimy dragon creature, and it's still kind of covered in its like embryo, and it's kind of just trying to pull itself out, and it does. And it begins to move its closed head around.
I keep trying to close its eyes. I just jump on it and I'm just like, "Ah!"
And as you are wrestling this dragon, it turns its head and it looks up at the fighting creatures. And it makes them shake. Which
Which one did it look at? There's two of them. Which one?
I've got a scarf. Take it. Put it around its eyes.
I'll say you can scarf. He makes eye contact with one of the creatures as you then scarf it. And that is what the $30 was for.
Oh no! Thank you.
Great cause. Oh God, why?
Those bittersweet emotions.
No pressure. This is the biggest combat I've ever done. I'm sweating.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
Thank you. Sophie, it's your turn. You see the baby dragon now, and this baby dragon is as big as you.
Shit. Since Shell was so fantastic and inspired the hell out of her, she didn't see that coming from an 11-year-old, but she's like, yeah. Maybe it reminds her of her younger sister. She's like, I can do this, and she's gonna get up and run over to Bob after this abomination. He's like, get off of him! And just right here and jump and try to stab this abomination that's on her friend. So let's see. That's not bad. Wait, 12 plus 7.
Yeah, that hits.
Sweet. And do I get sneak attack since Bob is right there and so
Yeah.
is awesome. Okay. So the rapier, that's 1d8. I'm just rolling a d6. That's 4 plus 4, and then my sneak attack is 3d6 right now. That's a 6, 2, and a 5. So 21 points of damage.
Ooh, so you just pierce him from behind. He was so busy swerving around to avoid Goldrick's attacks that he does not notice you behind to pierce him in the spine, and he straightens very immediately, and he lets out a cry, and that seems to have wounded him badly.
Perfect.
And now it is the turn of the one remaining Yuan Ti Pureblood, who is just barely hanging on. And is he still color sprayed?
It would have ended my turn. It was only one round, so.
So she sees Lanya with this dragon, and she screams in common, "Heretic!" And she shoots a short bow attack at you, which is a natural 20.
Owie.
So that is 5, that is 12 poison, 12 damage total. 5 piercing.
Fortunately, you can't roll damage. That's great.
I don't feel good, guys. Pretty bad.
Oh.
12 points of damage, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Not doing good.
All right. From there, it is Shell, your turn. You are standing right next to her and this now baby dragon.
Mm-hmm. But I just saw this person just shoot Vanya.
Right in the back. As she's just desperately trying to protect the baby. Vanya is doing the most.
Yeah, so Chill in her 3'6" will just like in all her fury will just like stand in front of Vanya and the egg and be like, "That's not nice," and we'll cast Firebolt at this guy.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Yeah, 24.
Definitely hit.
That's 10 points of fire damage.
How do you do it?
Yes. So Chow, who stands with her hands on her hips in front of Vanya and the egg, will just, as she says, "That's not nice," and just points her finger at this Yuan Ti, and with all the fury that an 11-year-old can have.
10-year-olds have a lot of angst.
Cast.
10 and 11, 12 are scary age.
Yeah, and it just hits right into the chest of this Yuan Ti.
And it soars back a good 2 feet as it just falls, arms back, bow and arrow sprawling back 3 or 4 feet behind it, and it is down. The only remaining enemy besides the flying creature now is just this abomination. And after your turn, the 2 creatures begin to go more in combat, and you see like scales falling from the sky, tufts of these wings from this creature. It is getting brutal up there. You feel the electricity of the breath weapon of the bronze dragon. You feel the energy, and it is getting very scary up there. And that brings it to the Yuan Ti abomination, who is just going to now slash at Sophie with one of its scimitars. It's actually going to go spin in kind of a circle. It's going to swing once at Golrick, once at Bob, and then once at Sophie. So first one is Golrick. 16 hit?
Yes, a 16 hits. I'm not wearing any armor. I'm just wearing this cloak.
All right, so 8 slashing damage for that one. For Bob, there's a 25.
Yes, it does.
That's 12 slashing. And for Sophie, a 26.
Oh, yeah.
That's 15 slashing, and that is his turn.
I don't look very good.
Right, well, that's clearly not very nice. So, Goldrick would like to grapple this abomination.
Okay.
16 to contest.
Okay, and it's going to try and use its dexterity to weasel out. And it does. It wiggles.
Oh well, hell with it. Extra attack. I'll try and grapple it again.
Okay.
There we go. 21. Try that.
Well, that was. Yeah, we'll take it. That was a natural 1.
Excellent. Well, I may not have done any damage, but brilliant. This is exactly what I wanted, because now that they're grappled, I can move at half speed with them. So I'm just going to take them 20 feet. My speed is 40, so 20 feet away from the people that they're stabbing.
Awesome. And if you hold him towards them, they will all have advantage on attacks towards it.
Yeah, the arms behind the head, the full Nelson thing. Yeah, let's do that. Come on this way.
All right. Lanya, it is now you, the dragon and shell.
Okay.
Between you and the rest of the party is the serpent, but they are only about 15 feet away from Bob and Sophie and about 35 feet away from Goldrick and the abomination.
Well, I don't trust my ability to attack in the air, so I'm going to protect my friends and attempt a Dissonant Whispers. That's a wisdom save DC 14, and I just say, your scales are falling off and they're shriveling up and you're drying out, and that's just echoing in its head.
16. Does it take half damage still?
Yes, it does. It's 4d6.
It's good damages.
17 points of damage.
So as you do this, it begins to writhe beneath you, Goldrick. Like it almost feels like it's trying to get away, but then you feel one of its arms break free and it claws at its face, ripping off a chunk of its scales. And then as it does, it kind of breaks free, and below you, now this creature is just ripping off all of its scales beneath you until there is nothing left but blood and snake. And now all of the enemies have fallen, except for the great beasts.
I might as well just put this down.
Just gonna put this down here.
Alright, and I'm going to make a few rolls here. Actually, I would like one of you to roll me a D100. Any of you, whoever wants to.
Oh boy.
Okay,
Not me.
I'll go for it. Oh no.
So a 79, and with a 79, as you all are all watching in horror of this great battle, the dragon kind of swoops in and just kind of body slams against the avatar, and it kind of just shivers to take what seems to be a substantial amount of damage. I would like someone else to make a 1d100 roll. They're doing a total of 3, so who would like to go next?
I mean, I'll take one. I've had nothing but good dice roll luck, right?
Don't curse it.
We don't know what it's for.
Yeah.
55, middle ground. 55.
And as it continues, as it pushes against it, the dragon begins to bite at the wing of the Murshok. I need one more D100.
All right, let's give this a go.
And with that, the two creatures spiral to the ground. And all of you have the time to kind of just, oh my god, move out of the way as the two crash upon the earth. And everything shakes and you all do fall prone as the ground kind of just breaks beneath them and they fall layer upon layer into the mountainside. And it gets very quiet for a second. And slowly you hear a creature making its way out of the pit. And you see the horns first, almost like a crown upon its head. And then you begin to see the top of its head and the snout of an ancient bronze dragon.
Bob's like, take off the scarf! Take off the scarf!
I do. I kind of push it towards it.
And this tiny little wormling kind of rolls around, and it's kind of wriggling, and as you remove its head, the head of the dragon and the face of the wormling are one in another. And it scrambles and it stumbles and it keeps just rolling over itself as this weak and tired dragon waits for it to press itself against its snout. And you hear the chuffs, the sounds that cats make when they kind of curl up to you before bed. And smoke kind of billows from the mouth of the ancient dragon as they have this moment together. And as the dragon finally pulls himself out, looks to you and goes, "Thank all of you for doing this. This could be the one thing that saves my race." And with that, we end. The party was successful.
Bravo, bravissimo.
That was amazing.
Oh, God.
Right at the end there, Golric was just about to launch into a lecture on dragon animal husbandry, as spent their whole life for the dragon, of course. Bree, this was amazing. How many times have you? How many times have you DM'd now?
This is number 6.
You're
rolled.
amazing.
Thank you.
You're so elegant. Oh my God, it's really beautiful.
Thank you guys so much. Oh, thank you guys. It was a blast. All of you were fantastic. Your players were awesome. Characters amazing. All of you were just fantastic. So thank you for playing this with me. This was a whim idea. I was just like, dragon eggs are fun. So I'm glad y'all played along with it. It was really great.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
What would you like to do for a wrap up, Bree? Should we just talk about our favourite part, or do you want some kind of epilogue? What should we do?
Let's do a bit of an epilogue. And I would actually like you all to help me with that, because all of your characters come from different planes and different existences. So this dragon does return you safely home, and it is an experience unlike any other. Whereas Bob was terrified at the concept of riding a scary lizard, the comfort of being on this great dragon is exhilarating. You soar to the highest peaks, and you can almost see every bit of the realm, in and out of the cool mist of the clouds, as you kind of feel more free than you ever knew was possible. And as you see the small dot, of which was the conservationists' locale, swoops and swoops and lowers you. He again thanks you. Every one of the conservationists is there cheering and screaming. People are crying. As you lower from this dragon, strangers are just pulling you in for hugs, cheering you on. The leader comes in with a nod. There is a bittersweet feeling, though, as you know you did leave one person behind. But you also do know that that was sometimes the necessary evil. Now, where do these adventurers go from here? Golric, where do you go?
Well, of course, Golric is now not only a learned scholar about dragons, he is now first-hand probably the person in the realm of the most experience talking to and helping them. So Golric will offer the dragon the services as an assistant, provided that they may take notes about proceedings as the dragon grows up, and will try and insinuate himself with the dragon culture as they continually increase and grow stronger.
And I think that the dragon would be very happy to have the help. And as you work together, you do a lot of research on finding more eggs. And though they may not be bronze, here's rumors of a copper egg. Here's rumors of a young adult dragon somewhere in the mountains. And you begin to work your life's journey of bringing the dragons back. Restoring all that was. Sophie and Bob, as you two are companions, where do you go from here?
I think Bob scoops up Sophie and puts her back on his back, where she spends most of his time. Is it okay? Now we don't tell Shuri or Talia where we've been. Deal?
I mean, do you remember the lying thing that we taught you?
If I lie doing this,
Always the hand motion.
it's the hand motion. That's how you lie.
We're never here.
We never hear.
Ever. But I mean, if we could learn how to make like dragon-shaped bread, that would be kind of cool, right?
Oh, I bet that would sell well in the bakery.
be really great. We could make some of it spicy or something because the fire.
I like it. I like it.
But we don't tell them where the inspiration came from. We just say that you
No.
like read a cool book or something. You know how to read, right?
I can't read. We've been over this before.
I can't really that well either.
No.
Say we heard a song. How about that?
Okay, I can do that.
A song.
I can do that.
Okay.
But I mean, this was good, right? We could do it again. Do something. I'll let you plan the next day out next time.
Okay, maybe it won't. Maybe it won't be like this intense. But maybe like someday again. I mean, that Golrick guy kind of seems like he's kind of hopeless. He might need some more help. So if they run into another egg, maybe it could be a possibility because those priests were kind of fun to shoot in the back of the head. Hey, don't tell my sister I said that.
Don't tell Talia that either.
Oh, she'd kill me.
Yeah, no, she would. It's okay.
It's okay.
Go back now?
For now, yeah, let's go back.
Okay. And he'll sort of go down onto his all fours into Baxi form and start running.
So you two return home to the bakery. And it takes no time. You don't even take the time to rest as you begin working out this kind of spicy bread recipe. Your adventuring companions do seem a little bit wary as your kind of explanation of where you have been, but they don't push it too far. And you both know that you and Golrick do have good companionship. He's prone to sending letters for no reason, so he will send you plenty of updates as it goes. First dragon scale shed. Sending little tokens and gifts that you must square away and hide from your fellow adventurers. They don't know about the time you almost totally died.
Also, thank you very much. There's another donation come in, $50. Again, I won't read out your real name, but I guess that's me. This is either going to be rotten fish or strawberry banana smoothie.
Oh,
what
man.
a terrible mix.
They don't. I bet you they don't put any of the good stuff in.
Yeah, that's what I'm starting to think, because I haven't had a good one yet.
Oh, the expression.
Yeah. Fish!
That's the worst one yet. That's the worst one yet.
No.
Anyway, yeah, carry on.
I will carry on while we all watch your expression. Now, the youngest member of this party, Shell, just a child, saved potentially an entire race of creatures. Where do you go from here?
Yeah. Well, if Satine, we can co-do this one. Yeah. So Chell's on the journey to find her missing parents, but on the way she just kind of happens to fall through portals that drop her in different places and likes to go and do adventures, and so this is just another adventure for her. And so she knows that Vanya has done some traveling as well, and she'll just look up at her. Where are you going after this?
Oh, I'm going back to the Yawning Portal, probably, and I have many bands that I manage. I'm a band manager, but I travel in search of stories to sing and tell and write about. This is a fantastic story. Would you like to... They have hot chocolate. They have apple cider. Would you like to join me in the Waterdeep? It's a big metropolitan city.
Do they put marshmallows in the hot chocolate?
They sure do.
Yeah. And then,
Nobody will question your age there.
That sounds like a good idea. And then maybe we can search for my parents there. I haven't been to Waterdeep yet. New place.
Yes, it's kind of my specialty is finding people and searching different planes for information.
Well, if you'd like me to come, I'd love to come. You're really
Fantastic.
cool.
And then I have this necklace on, and it has all these like spirals and orbs on it, and I grab it and I hold your hand and I say, you can sing, can't you?
I can't sing, but I can do dance and stuff.
Fantastic. And then bloop.
And off these two elf and half-elf and just disappear from the realm. And they appear in a place that Shell feels like might just be heaven. It's colorful, it's dynamic. And as Vanya meets with her crew of bands and adventurers and tells them the tales, people cheer on Jel. They give her all of the hot chocolates with colored marshmallows. They create fantastic performances and tales, and they really do create the great story, The Art of Saving Dragons. And that is where we will end.
Thank you so much, Bree. We've had 2 more donations come in at the end, so we've beat our halfway mark. We are now in about 24 hours' time. Tune in here again because at least one of our goals has been hit, which means that Zelda and Tis Aliens will be eating half a raw onion live on stream.
Yes.
But in the meantime, Alice would have happily volunteered for that one. I think she loves.
I
onion.
like onion.
I just do it with them for the joy of eating an onion.
But Alice, that means it's 2 donations of 20 quid. So
Are we going to do introductions?
Yeah, totally.
As they chew, we will begin out the outros, and we will start with Satine.
Thank you guys so much. This was amazing. You guys are excellent role players. I would love to play with you again. And Dungeon Mistress, you blew my mind. Your voice is elegant. Your storytelling is fantastic. And I am completely impressed. You have advantage on your next life roll.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Satine Phoenix here. You can find me on all the things at Satine Phoenix. You can find me on my new project, gildinglight.tv.
Wonderful. Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us. It was such a pleasure. It was so much fun. Oh, thank you again. Thank you. And we will go then down to our sweet, sweet Kiana.
Oh man, this was so much fun. I loved all the characters. I love the dynamics. I love the story, and all of the descriptions were so amazing, Bree. Holy cow! Everything was amazing, and this is such a great cause. So I'm super honored to be invited on to do this. So everyone who's watching, thank you for being here. Keep on supporting this, sharing it, everything that you can do to help out, because Bree is an awesome person in the community, and we should have her in all the games. But yes, you guys find me over on Twitter at Kiana S. Best way to figure out what I'm doing, because I'm over the internet, play role-playing games almost every day of the week. But I think the focus here should be on the stream, so definitely come hang out with us. I'll be in the chat and watching all these future next 24 hours or so. So it's gonna be awesome. Lots of love to y'all.
Thank you so much, Kiana. And let's see, Alice, have you recovered? Are you okay to go? What did you eat?
That was dead fish. I just want a freaking strawberry or a pear, or I don't know. I just don't want.
I just had spoiled milk as well. I think the dead fish is the worst one I've had so far.
Yeah, no, it really, really is. But yes, first of all, Bree, amazing DMing. I love it. I love the story. I love the descriptions. I love all of it. It makes such a good atmosphere and a nice sort of happy ending as well, which is not what you get a lot in some tales. I love playing with everyone here. It's been so much fun. I'd love to do it again. It was a real laugh. But as we've said, it is for a great cause. So let's, and I can't believe we're already at the halfway mark in the first game. So let's keep on going because it's a very worthy cause. And thank you so much to all the players here. You're all amazing. And also chat for being amazing and supporting as well. So thank you.
Wonderful. And that brings it to you.
Being boozled, just so
Yeah, this is after this 24 hours, I think we might all just never look at jelly beans the same way again. And that is now your turn, Rachel.
So, do you want to be a mage?
Wow. Okay. So first of all, I'm gonna repeat what everyone else said. This was my first time having you as the DM, and I agree. Your imagery and world building was incredible. I felt like I was really just there. It was really beautiful, and my heart is so warm. So thank you for leading us through that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Scrat, for inviting me to this. It was a pleasure playing with all of you guys, and I do hope I get to again at some point. But yeah, everyone in the chat, you gotta make these people go through some more horrible shit, okay?
No,
You
Rachel.
need to
No.
make them eat all of those beans. All of them.
All 5 boxes.
All of them. This is for a really fantastic cause, and it's so inspiring to see communities come together like this. And yeah, like I said, I'm just super happy to have been a part of it, even for just a little bit. You can find me on Twitch playing a variety of games, drawing a lot of D&D characters, and just doing all kinds of stuff on the internet. But I agree with Kiana. Let's talk more about this fantastic channel and the things that are going on here.
So, guys, y'all are so great. All right. Scrattic, Adam, it's your turn.
Thank you. So yeah, I could lava you with more love and affection because it was absolutely amazing. I have to check how many times you've DM'd because genuinely it feels like a lot more than 6. Especially for streaming as well, keeping it within the time frame and everything. It's a real skill and you've got it. So thank you. We will be back at 4 p.m. With a stream with Grant Ellis. He'll be taking us through Unrestful Hearts in the Gardens of Glory, in which I'll be there, Blind Temple, Cosmic Lydia, and Prairie Flocks. Yeah, and we're just going to keep on raising money. So thank you all so much for coming and turning out. Bree, I'll put your links in the chat as well. We haven't heard? Well, everyone knows who you are, surely, by now. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming along to this. I appreciate it so much. All of you are absolutely amazing. We will be live for another 24 hours. We'll be finishing with Eden, so we'll see Bree again before the end, and Alice a couple of times before the end. As for the rest of you, thank you so much for coming along. I really appreciate all of you. And yeah, I'm going to take us to the next show. So we'll see you in a bit. Thank you so much, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Looks like we got a new friend!